maintenance.
See, I don't want them to get into our, I don't want to be involved in that.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't even like this. Even if it, honestly, my threshold was $5,000. That was my threshold for everything. So, I mean, they surpassed my threshold by a shipment.
But Realtor Martino's ready to go. Right?
Yeah, that's done.
And I can have.
I just sent you the info.
And I can have a mirror.
Are you adding it?
I'm going to. I can give a mirror. A mirror can do all of the minor stuff.
Easily.
If I need to change.
Easily, but I'm talking, let's get, I want them to finish up what they're doing, so we can at least launch that, get our value, then we'll have someone else.
You're at Mark, that is a great idea, because they can actually launch that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like next week.
Bugs out.
Like next week.
Yes, okay.
I'm going to
tell them, we're just going to go with
I'll be up in a little bit. I'm going to see if I can't get a hold of Amir right now.
Hey, you want to start us? We're up. You want to start us on...
Oh, yeah.
Mark, that's a great idea. Let's get this thing done. Because I don't want to even... First of all, these other people are going to maintain our site for us, okay?
Yeah, and really, there's not... The maintenance is not massive once it's done.
Yeah. I mean, Mikey and Amir can do that. Right?
Well, Mike makes sure it up. He's nothing to do with design and stuff.
No, but what did they need?
He can't even do circles like that.
What was their $200 a month for?
To manage SEO on page, optimize all 4 websites to increase website ranking.
No, that
actually,
by the way, that's a good price.
It's $1,500 one-time fee for each, and then $200 a month. Facebook page management, $500 per month per page. Watch what I do.
Yeah.
So I log into referral.
But are they going to finish though like it was? Will they do that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding? Why wouldn't I? That was our deal.
Well, I'm hoping. And I want all our credentials. I want to.
Well, once they're done, then we lock it down.
Right.
Can I log in as my...
I'll just leave that up to you. That's a good strategy.
Thank you.
I'll add you. I'll email this to you.
Okay.
But after I'm there, look, I go to pages, and then you search watch. I know I'm going to have to show you this a few times. So I'm searching watch. It's going to find the watch live page, and I go to edit. Now I'll hop over to here, go to YouTube, and watch what I search. Are we live?
Yes.
Okay, so I search Troubleshooter network. Don't ask me why, but that's what finds it. And then see, now it says live now. And then here's the live now one. And I always make sure, look, I'm wearing my shirt. That's how I look. I look at his shirt and my shirt.
Well, it's got the date up there too.
Okay, then you right click on it, copy embedded code. Okay, then, see look, here's where we're at here. This is the one from yesterday. You go to text, and then you see this, it starts with iframe, ends with iframe. Okay. You simply do that, and paste the new one. Then you come over here and hit update. So now, if we go to just referral list, visit site, and hit watch live. Yeah, because each day we just create the new one. You follow?
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
I'll show you a few times. But remind me, I got to set your login in to allow you to do that.
Stop.
Whose is this, folks?
National Highway Traffic Safety.
Yours.
Mine?
Ow!
Mine, Mark. Oh. Hi, Al.
Good morning, guys. Hey, Al, what's going on, brother?
Fantastic. Everything.
You can snag my seat until I come back up.
Okay. We'll get another one for you. We need one more seat in here.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, Tom Martino here. It is Car Day. I love Car Day. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255, the longest running show anywhere on radio with the continuous same host. And we have the only show that recovers millions and millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services each and every year. That's what we do, and we are proud of it. We love doing it, and we think you should tell people about it because truly, It's the only place you're going to go where we're not going to try to preach to you, change your religion or your politics, or try to convince you you're right or wrong as far as how you think. All we want to do is help, because everyone agrees on this one premise: no one should be cheated, lied to, or ripped off. Isn't that great? That's where everyone comes together. Now, other people might have ideas on how you go about making this correct. Some people may not like our techniques, but I will tell you, we have a lot going on every day. Now, you're part of this show, so if you ever hear a problem and you don't hear the end, feel free to call up to get your update. Just call and ask. Hey, one continual problem we have is money up front for nothing. Money up front for nothing. Sounds like a rock song. Maybe we should write one. Money up front for nothing. And girls for free. There's something like that. What was that song? Anyway, what was it? What was the name? Oh, money for nothing and chicks for free. Money up front for nothing. Okay, welcome. And rip-offs for free. We're going to talk about this, but it is car day. I have Jeff Vick with us from Kimmer Transmission, Al Aramis from Pro Auto Care. And then we can get on the phone any other expert we need if you have a car problem or a car question of any kind, whether it has to do with maintenance, repair, or buying or selling. Okay? 303-713-TALK. Now, John paid a landscaper some money up front. And this landscaper promised to give his side of the story, and so far all he did was hung up on us when we called back. He said, I'll talk to you in 15 minutes.
That's right, Tom.
Now, there is a Contractors Trust Act that applies to landscapers. The Contractors Trust Act, in essence, says you take money, you have to use it for that job, or you're in trouble. And we believe this landscaper's a ripoff. Suzanne, what's the guy's name?
Randy Williams.
Randy Williams. And Randy Williams runs a company called what?
Called All City Landscapes.
And I don't know how he justifies taking money and doing nothing.
Right.
Now, if truly a company takes money and has financial difficulty and goes bankrupt, that would be a legal way to do this, but not if they plan it, or not if they know they're going down and they keep taking money. So let's talk to John. John, this guy, is it $2,600?
$2,675, Tom.
That's a lot of money. And this guy disconnected his phone, and he seems to be out of business, although he claims he's not. He's still answering his phone, Suzanne?
Yes, and I guess he called John last night or yesterday.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
John, what possible excuse could he have for stealing this money?
I think he probably spent it someplace else, to tell you the truth.
That's what a lot of people do. They take the money. So what did he say to you when he called you?
Well, he sent me a text message and said he was going to go down to Money Tree last night. And I called Money Tree this morning to verify if he had gone there or not. And
what was he going to go there for?
To repay Money Tree for the check of mine that he cashed there.
Okay, because he already... Did he get to your bank before you could stop payment?
No.
Oh, you were able to stop payment?
Correct.
Oh, wonderful. So the money did not come out of your account?
No. But now I have Money Tree hounding me for their money. They're
by the way, this is fun. Listen to this part. Money Tree is coming after John.
What is Money Tree, Tom?
Money Tree is a place that cashes checks. So now listen to this. If you write a check to someone, you are giving them a promissory note. Now listen to the theory. If you take that promissory note, on your good name, Money Tree takes it from the lying, cheating landscaper, Randy Williams. Randy Williams cashes it. When the check goes bad, Money Tree goes after everyone in the chain. It's called holder in due course. Meaning, let's say that John, the caller, paid Randy, and Randy forwarded that check to you, Suzanne, and you forwarded it to another person, and that other person ultimately takes it to Money Tree. Money Tree can go after everyone in that chain of commerce. It's called holder in due course.
Wow.
So that is why, and people need to know this, that is why, even though John had a right to stop payment, to stop a cheat, technically Money Tree has a right to go after John. Isn't this crazy? So I'm happy, John, you have your money. And really, the way I look at it, Money Tree ought to go after the lying, cheating landscaper. And if they come after you, you can say the guy cheated you. He defrauded you. There was no, that payment, you stopped payment. And what did they say they're going to do to you?
They haven't really said anything. I've been in contact with them, checking up each day to make sure Randy had returned the money.
Suzanne, can we call Brandon Siglian?
Sure.
He does collection work and credit work like this. I would like to ask him his opinion on holder in due course. But that is amazing, isn't it?
It's crazy, Thomas. He went and cashed a check after I had left him a voicemail saying not to cash it.
No, there is no doubt. It doesn't even matter. There is no doubt. This guy was not entitled to your money. The point I'm trying to make here is not that you did something wrong, but he went and you had a right to do it. But what happens now with Money Tree? You hold on. We're going to examine this topic. 303-713-TALK. Tom, welcome to the show. I'll bet you these guys are going to be anxious to chime in on this one. Go ahead, Tom.
Actually, it's a two-part question, Tom.
Yes, sir.
First part, guys, is I want to get your opinion on a new product that Mobile One just came out with. It's an annual performance oil that apparently you can only or should only change your oil one time a year and guaranteed for 20,000 miles. Any thoughts on that?
My thought is, wow. Why?
It's a full synthetic.
Why?
So that might explain it, but...
Is it better? I mean, listen, I'm all for full synthetic. My question is, why go 20? I mean, you can still use it. I don't know, though. What do you think, guys? Technology is such that maybe we don't have to do the 7,500 miles, the 5,000 miles, the definitely not the 3,000.
So he asked a great question, didn't he?
Yeah.
Is this a great product?
What
Should
do
I
you
use it? Question I always ask is, why does oil turn black? Why does it turn dirty? What's the reason because of it? Well, because you have a combustion motor, you're burning fuel.
Carbon.
And you have water in that fuel, which is the oxidation piece, okay? That creates its own issues, breaks down the protection package. So with synthetics, they hold up longer, and they have the ability to resist that thermal breakdown, just without major technical terms. The single thing you can do to a motor to extend the life of the motor is to do the maintenance and do oil changes.
But what if it truly can suspend particles and clean and not get terribly...
It'd be fantastic. But wait, what does it cost?
Well, 20,000 miles. Is that too long to go?
The issue in the 20,000, great that I got good oil. What happened to the oil filter?
What does it say about the oil filter, Tom?
Well, they've got an oil filter that, of course, they suggest that compares and goes well with their new oil. But it also says part of their warranty is, I believe you have to get that oil filter to enact their limited warranty.
And how much is it?
That price on either one, I have no idea. I'm sure it's pricey. It's Mobile One, so it's got to be.
So the question is it worth it?
Right.
And, Tom, think about a filter cartridge. Unless you expand the size of the filtration, it's going to do the same job of filtering. The only way you can get by from those not plugging up is you change what they call the micron, how much it actually collects. You go to a larger micron, which doesn't plug up as easy.
Yeah, but if you go to a larger micron, then smaller microns are floating around your engine.
Exactly. Here's the
That's the only way you can extend the life of a filter.
I need to research it in order for me to give a great answer. Jeff, what do you think on that?
And, we've talked about it before. I mean, PM is the most cost-effective means you can use of keeping any part of that car on the road. Preventive maintenance.
Okay.
And, the fluids, particularly oils, transmission fluid, antifreeze, these are the cheapest thing you're ever going to put inside your car. trying to extend it out to an extra 20,000 miles, so you're skipping what, 1 or 2 oil change intervals. What are you actually gaining from this? You're taking a gamble on whether you're going to take that $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 car and end up putting a $10,000, $11,000 engine into it because you didn't want to do an oil change.
Listen, I'd like to hear people's opinions on this because really it is coming fast, this notion of not changing oil. And everyone is pushing for longer intervals. Again, it's a really cheap thing in the big picture. So what good is it going an extra 10,000? I mean, it's not that difficult. You can get an oil change literally in 15 or 20 minutes. I mean, really.
Right.
So let's talk about that coming up.
It's over and over and over. People, you know.
They're lazy. They don't want to do it. They're going to breaks up there with lifetime transmission fluid.
Make your way across the
Exactly.
It's good for the life of the
Well, they said it would last 10,000 miles.
It's good for the life of
It's your engine that didn't last the next 10,000 miles.
But I'd like to say that's a great thing. It's good for the life of the engine. Good for the life of so when an engine dies, that's the life of the engine.
From Yosemite back to the reservoir spillway.
On the Shelley, Tom, I got her paperwork.
You crashed in the heart of downtown at the intersection of Market
You have
and 14.
Shelley. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one on
Tell us about it.
Okay, so she went and got her timing belt changed to this Big Sky Automotive, $900. She did some other stuff also. A month later, she drove to California. She was 3 quarts low on oil. I wasn't able to ask her if it was leaking. Came back. She took it to another place. They said, "Hey, you just had your belt changed. You need to take it back there."
What did you want to order? Pizza
Took it
or
back to the
something?
place. It says, "Yeah, we can do it, even though it's under warranty. It's going to be another
You guys want
$600."
pizza or Jimmy John's? What's the, Jimmy, you want Jimmy or pizza? Al?
Jimmy be cool for me. Pizza be, I mean, I'm not going to be difficult. Why would I be
I
there
had Jimmy
now?
John yesterday, so I'm going to vote for pizza.
Yeah,
Okay.
pizza is easier for a bigger group.
Here you go. Oh,
It's Friday. We're just going to be easy.
okay.
Not
yeah.
cheap, but easy.
So there's
Okay.
4 receipts, but basically it looks like, and then they re-changed a year later, put a different timing belt, a new timing belt on it. Because Big Sky said it would take $600 for them to do it, even though that they had did it, you know, a few months before that. So they changed the timing belt. A month later,
When they changed it, though,
I don't know.
the very first time.
Okay.
Tell me the spec. She had it done the very first time.
Correct.
By Big Sky.
Correct.
And then Big Sky had freely get it charged.
They said they would charge her $600.
Why? If they did it the first time.
Because they said it would be, well, they just said it would be, she didn't know that you're going to have to ask her that. She wouldn't know. The guy just said, "Hey, it's going to be $600, but we can fix it."
But did she say, but it's your fault? It's your time.
Yeah, she did. She did. Well, she didn't know that. She's a single. She didn't say that. Hey, that's their fault. But she took it another place and they changed the timing belt again. Gaskets and everything.
Tom, Siglian was unavailable, but Ryan Wood's going to come on, okay? Does that work for you?
Only if he...
Yeah, I asked him. I said, can you give opinion on older due process?
The IRS wants you to think these
You need that with self? Jeff made a good point. He said, "Oil change is the cheapest thing you'll put in your car except your wife."
What is that? What did he say?
He said, "Oil's going to be the cheapest thing you'll put in your car except your wife."
There's a better way. It's an alternative. The
I don't think that'll be cheap.
He wonders why he got divorced. He wonders why he got divorced.
I never questioned why you got divorced.
I am shocked.
Double digits.
Okay?
No
I am shocked, dismayed.
The market crashes. If the market tanks like 2000.
Now that you got that on camera.
I'm shocked and dismayed.
Audio.
There you go.
Now that's comedy, man. I mean, that is comedy.
No, I love that quote. It's the life of the car, the life of the...
Yeah, life of the engine. Good for the
It
life
goes
of
out.
the engine.
Hey, that's the life of
Goes
the
out.
engine.
Did it
That's
job.
good.
It guaranteed you on 20,000 miles. They have to extend the filter. They put no specs as to what its filtration, how many micron It has.
But these manufacturers are pushing this.
Well, they have for years. When when was the campaign GM originally came out with? Remember the commercials they were bragging about? The extent of oil changes was like 6,000 to 7,000 miles. You don't have to change the engine oil until your daughter goes to college and so on and so forth, or the transmission fluid rather. That was what 98, 99, somewhere around there, and it's been an ongoing thing ever since.
They changed everything from that because the filters, like even fuel filters, used to be 30,000 miles. They're a year. Sometimes they even come lifetime. So much what I read a trade publication that said something to the effect. When the manufacturers started paying attention to J.D. Powers and the ratings, one of the things they rate is overall cost to maintain per year on the vehicle. And they add that other thing. And every manufacturer went, we want good ratings. It sells cars. So it's dropped down. And somebody put that notion to say, is this what's driving me?
But the fuel filter will either clog or whatever. I'm like,
well, yeah, we just got a bypass in there though. After it clogs, it will still continue to flow oil. It just allows all that
oil.
No, yeah,
but all fuel.
Oil, fuel, and fuel doesn't have a bypass necessarily,
right.
but it will push.
Okay.
I'm your troubleshooter, Tom Martino. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Shelley, what's happening with you? Hello, Shelley.
Hello.
Yes, what's happening, Shelley?
Well, I took my car. I received a bad report from California. I took my car over to Big Sky.
What do you mean you received a... I'm not understanding this. You received a bad report from California.
Well, I live in Colorado, and I got a call from my grandson that he was going to the hospital because he was trying to commit suicide. And so I thought that I had better drive to California because I was very...
Oh, I get it. You got a bad report from California, meaning that you had to get out there.
Yes, immediately.
Okay. All right. Hold on 1 second, because I'm sorry about this, and I will get right to you, but our attorney that we asked for some information just called in, and I want to get him on quickly, okay? And I promise I'll come right back to you. Ryan Wood, attorney at law, one of our attorneys at referralist.com. He does basically a general practice of law, real estate. He does bankruptcies. And what other kind of law, Ryan, while you're on?
Yeah, mostly bankruptcy, real estate, general business kind of stuff.
You've even done some HOA stuff?
Yeah, a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Now, Ryan, if I write a check to a contractor and the contractor goes and cashes that at an independent check cashing store or another bank or somewhere, and I find out this contractor is a ripoff and I stop payment, let's just say for argument's sake, I have a really good reason, and I stop payment, that check now bounces even though he cashed it and got the money. Can that check store or the check casher come after me as a holder in due course?
They may be able to because they have no reason to know that there was anything wrong with the check.
And so my promissory note to that contractor, the check, they took in good faith and can say that my breach to him constituted a loss to them.
Well, it did because they paid on that check. So they had no reason to know there was anything wrong with it. They paid on it. And so
assuming it wasn't lost, the check, right. We're saying that I actually wrote the check even if I had a great reason to stop payment. Now, let's say that this money store comes after the homeowner who stopped payment on this sleazy contractor. Mm-hmm. Do you think they have a good chance of collecting, saying, look, this is not the way you take care of a dispute?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you give me that question one more time?
The check writing place is now out the money. The lying, cheating landscaper got the money. The homeowner now gets sued by the check cashing store.
Right.
Do you think they have a good chance of prevailing?
The homeowner against...
No, against the check writing store against the homeowner.
They probably do because, again, it's not about what the landscaper did. It's about whether the check cashing company is responsible for what the landscaping company did.
So what is then, why wouldn't they go after, and they probably can go after both, they can go after the other guy too, right? They can go after the landscaper.
Well, although he didn't necessarily know that there was a stop payment on the check.
No, I meant Oh, I see. Okay, wow.
Because if that, that stop payment took too long to happen, so as far as the landscaper knew and as far as the check cashing place knew, there was nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
But, Tom, apparently the homeowner told the landscaper he canceled the check.
That's too hard to prove. I mean, he had a written check. What Ryan is saying makes sense, is that this, although I would still do it, Ryan, I would still stop payment if I thought someone was ripping me off, even if those were the consequences, and I'd take my chances. But, I mean, if you're going to have to pay, at least, I don't know, I just think that it's a terrible thing that you write a check, they go out and cash it, they get the money. It turns out that they're a lying, cheating ripoff, and you end up paying the people where they cashed it. Seems weird to me, but I understand the legal principle.
Well, the stop payment's got to happen really quickly so that by the time the check cashing place goes to cash it, it's no longer a good check.
Well, yeah, and that's what happened. But with today's electronics, you would think most places, a lot of these check cashing places, I thought, run the number through as an ACH. I think it's called the check 21 or 121 law 21, where a check is cashed immediately through the ACH, and they literally they transform the check into an ACH right on the spot. I know, for example, Costco does that, and Sam's Club does that.
Is this that all-city guy?
This is that all-city landscaper. So, okay, but Ryan, under the Colorado Trust Act, that's another thing that people don't realize. It's a serious offense when you take money up front for a job and you don't put that money aside for that job. You're not allowed to use that money for another job.
Right, yeah, that can be considered theft.
That's what I was going to say. If he doesn't have that money sitting somewhere tagged for these folks, he's breaking the law. We know that.
Yeah. And
by the way, he's a real sleaze. In my opinion, this guy is the true scumbag, Randy Williams.
Okay, who did the landscaper
he
just call
called
you?
Me.
He keeps calling us.
He's not happy with me.
Well, I don't care if he's happy. He keeps calling saying he has another side of the story. We want to hear it.
Right. So, Tom, after he hung up on me a little bit ago, I texted him saying, look, we're going to update this problem. If you'd like to call my back line. Then he just called me and said he didn't appreciate my threats.
Okay, hold on a sec. Ryan Wood, before I leave, let me just tell you, great guy, 720-465-1406. Ryan Wood on my referral list, referralist.com. Now, Randy Williams at All City Landscaping, I am talking to you. You took $2,675 from a consumer, from John. You then proceeded to cash the check, and you did nothing for it. Your phone was disconnected, and John is nervous. Now, I have to ask you, Randy, what do you call someone who takes money for nothing?
I'd call him a thief, personally.
That's what I'm saying. If he doesn't intend to do the work. John, how long ago did you make this payment to All City Landscape?
On March 24th.
Okay, so what did he say as far as getting the work done? Randy Williams, landscaper Randy Williams. What? By the way, Suzanne, does he have an explanation? Does he want to talk?
He does not want to talk to me.
We will let him make a statement.
I told him that.
Does he say he's going to do the work?
No, he will not speak with me.
John, what did he tell you when he called you? What did he tell you? What did he tell you?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, John. What did he tell you?
Well, we had the work scheduled to start today. On the 31st, which was a Friday, I tried to get hold of him because I wanted to increase some of the work, and I called his office number, and it had been disconnected, no longer in service. And that's when I put a stop payment on the check. And then I called him. I got hold of his voicemail on the cell phone, and I called him. I told him, I put a stop payment on the check because I don't know what's going on with you, so don't cash it. But he cashed it at Money Tree on the 3rd.
Could he just make the argument, you didn't give me a chance. You stopped payment before I was even supposed to show up. Mark, isn't that a logical argument? Randy, how do you answer that? You jumped the gun. I got to put him on hold because I'm hearing some noise.
Whether he jumped the gun or not, the reality is this guy's got his money right now.
Okay, so when are you going to start the work, Randy?
That's what we need to know.
Randy, when are you going to start the work? Before we go to full-out war, because really I'm not going to right now, because Randy may fully be intending to do this job.
Yeah, he's just acting weird as hell, calling up and,
Well, hold on now. Let's look at Randy's perspective.
Sure.
He wrote a contract, and just because his phone was disconnected, this guy stops payment. Randy could say, who told you I wasn't doing the work? Did I say I wasn't doing the work? Why did you stop payment? I'm coming to do the work today as scheduled. Well, Randy, do you hear me? Let me know. We're really trying to put you guys together.
The problem is he said at one point, didn't he say he was going to come on yesterday?
What he said was he wanted to give his side. By the time I got back with him, he hung up. So I called him and he said, I'm in a meeting. I'll call you in 15 minutes.
See, I'm telling you, something doesn't add up with him, though.
Something's amiss.
Okay. Well, let's talk. If you need home improvements, I'll tell you somebody that this will never happen with. Yeah, I know. I've known Mark for so many years. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. He also does interiors as well. But in this good weather, they're going to be doing the siding, windows, gutters, painting, fences, decks, and roofs. You can call them and you can trust them. 303-679-8509. GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
Connecticut woman says her hatred for Donald Trump made her run over a police officer.
Is it called All City Landscaping, or what is it called exactly?
Yes. All City Landscaping.
On 630 KHEL. The flooring company I highly
He's acting really weird.
Products, services, and
Is he acting as weird as Greg?
No.
Okay. That's not so bad.
Another home advisor.
Mark, what does this mean? 303martino.com cPanel. Admin 3Mart.
That's just the cPanel. You'll never use that. But you should have it in case.
What is a cPanel?
cPanel is basically...
Do all my sites WordPress have a cPanel?
There's one cPanel that manages all of our domains when they're active.
So is Sleaze Brigade on a cPanel?
Yes, it's on that cPanel.
Is it on the same cPanel as Referral List and all that?
Yeah, but they each have their own login. That happens.
But I don't...
You would never do anything.
I don't have any cPanels. Who uses the cPanel? Do you?
Mike, I use cPanel.
What do you use it for?
If I'm doing database maintenance.
Okay. So I don't need cPanel. We
No,
should
but-
have it on the drop dead list anyway.
Yeah, you need that because if me and Mike drop dead,
No,
someone would know what to do with
I'm saying
that.
is I don't have the cPanel on the other side.
If Al dropped dead,
So we don't need the cPanel on the other side. In other words, I need to be updated on servers and stuff just in case you drop dead and all that.
yeah, the WordPress is the one you need.
Okay, that'll get me on all the sites?
No, that'll get you just on the 303 Martino.
But eventually, just so on my sheet, I can fill in the other ones.
Yeah.
The other cPanels is what I'm saying. I don't have
This is what I have.
Well, ultimately, I'm just going to give you the top cPanel. But like when I have, here's why they're all individual. When I give one to Velvet,
Okay, don't call today.
he can't get into any other cPanel.
Okay, there it is.
All City Lands. Holy shit. The guy has, you ready for this? Half of 1 star.
I think you go below 1 star.
Is that on Yelp or Google? Or?
Why did you decide to let
Home
Ellie
advisor.
stay on?
She said all they're going to do is watch a movie. The project that she thought they were going to do, her teacher said we're not doing today.
So
And
you're letting her hang at the Richards, is that the deal?
so I said that's cool.
What time are you leaving?
I don't know in a few minutes.
Okay.
And Mark, when
Al,
I
you
go
can
to
take, I didn't realize Mark was leaving. Go ahead and
303martino.com,
take a spot if you'd like it, okay?
When I go to
We can get WordPress.
Okay, but when the public goes to
What?
303martino.com, they should see eventually 303martino.
Yeah, I just got to, I do
We
that.
haven't launched it though.
Well, I can do that this
That's
week.
a lot of spirit.
Don't do it this weekend. I want to go over it first.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I don't want to put stuff up yet till I know.
Basically, the DNS right now is just pointing to there
I get it.
instead of the default page.
With Spot Hero, you
But
can
eventually
find
then,
every
for me to
service
sign
spot
on, it'll be
destination.
303martino.com/admin, just like all the others.
It'll be /WP-admin or whatever I set it up as. It says in that thing right now, doesn't it? The email? It should have a link.
First, go
No,
online to Spot Hero.
it just says 303martino.com. That's all it says.
Simply enter your destination.
Well, work for 303 at work for you. I don't even know what that is. Why? What's 303 at work for you? That's that looks like an email. It is an email address. Oh, that's never mind. I don't want to say it.
Well, what's the name of the color for the all cities?
Oh, I see.
Never mind.
What is
we're on audio, aren't we?
Downtown. Go online to spothero.com.
So go to,
remember, we're on
Smarter today.
audio.
Spot Hero. Park smarter.
Yeah, the reason for his half of 1 star, the only rating he's got on there is actually your color.
Oh, is it really?
Oh. What did he rate him? A half a star?
Half a star.
I didn't know you could do that.
I know. But you know what's weird?
Well, he actually gave it a 1 star, but for whatever reason I knocked it down. Maybe since there's only 1 rating on it.
Brought to you by the Colorado Department of Public Health and
I think this looks pretty good.
Broadcasters
What?
Association.
Oh, I just mean the content. I gotta.
No, I know.
And then I also
it's so slick.
There's a couple changes in there I want to make. Just really easy. Like I want one to pop up as the featured.
386-5919 or online at Artem.
But I'm thinking we can get our terrorists to do that.
Pollen in the air.
Yeah.
You should get a Korean there.
Did anyone see
North
that?
Korean.
Hold on. I'm frozen. Did anyone see it? Go check.
No.
I just even make it.
I just switched it out of there.
I didn't hear
No,
it.
it was on.
Whenever I
No,
make
Greg
it,
just put it in the trash.
Did you put it in trash?
No.
It was on the left.
Greg, tell the truth.
I don't see it.
It was hanging on the left. Greg knocked it.
He never hits.
I'm not sure he even threw it.
Yeah. Have we even seen him make it?
He threw it and went.
Listen, it went right in, nothing but bag.
Yeah.
Whenever I get it.
There used to be a day he could do that. But
Well, then they moved put the file cabinet.
That was hard.
Because they had big funnel in it.
but anybody that's good, that doesn't even.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. Now back to Shelley, and I'm sorry I took that little detour. Shelley had to get to California or somewhere quickly, and she went to Big Sky Automotive. Tell me the rest of the story, Shelley.
Well, I went to Big Sky and I explained the situation.
What did they have to do?
He hadn't even looked at my car.
How did you know you needed maintenance?
Well, I didn't know. I wanted to make sure.
You were taking precautions. I get it. Okay, so what did you do? You went to Big Sky, and what did they recommend?
And before even looking at my car, he said I needed a timing belt and all this other kind of stuff. And I really feel like that he knew I was kind of desperate, and he took advantage. So I thought, oh my God, he made me afraid that if I get out somewhere and my car breaks down, that I'm going to be stuck. And I just really, before even looking at my car, that's
anyway. What did he say was wrong?
He didn't say anything was wrong. He told me that I needed a timing belt, and asked me when I had it replaced before, and I didn't really know. And so, but that was before looking at my vehicle. I ended up.
Let's get right to it. What went wrong?
Okay, so I went to California. I was there.
Did he do any work? Did he do any work?
He did.
Okay, what did he do?
He replaced my timing belt. He all kinds of work.
How many miles were on this car?
There were 237,313.
237, like 237,000 miles?
Yeah.
Wow.
313.
So a timing belt probably was a good idea, guys. Would you all agree on that on an old car like this? Yes. That was probably a good idea. So he did a timing belt, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay, he also did sway bar links, antifreeze, spark plugs, fuel filter, right? And wires, right? Spark plug wires. Not bad. Okay, and this was done in April of 16.
Correct.
Then what happened?
So I get to California, and I have to take my car in because
what happened?
of Well, I needed to get my thermostat gasket replaced.
That's not something he did, okay?
No, that's not something he did.
Maybe he should have caught it, but who knows? Okay, so what happened then?
So I needed 3 quarts of oil in my car, and I said,
well, after a long trip like that, these are okay. So far, let's get to the problem, dear. Please, why are you calling? I want to help you. I do.
Okay, well, I took my car back to Big Sky.
But wait a minute. Hold on. You were in California. You needed a thermostat gasket and some oil.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, well, let's see.
And then you came back home.
Yes, I came back home.
And you went back to Big Sky for what reason?
Well, because they noticed that my car was leaking oil.
Oh, and so you thought, I better take it back to who fixed it, right?
Exactly.
And when you took it back, what did they do?
Well, I had kind of my distrust because of the car shouldn't have leaked 3 quarts of oil just in that amount a month.
Not necessarily. It depends on the car. You have over 230,000 miles. It's very likely you could go through 3 quarts of oil on a cross-country drive. I'm telling you, so far there was no alarm, but it doesn't matter. You went back to Big Sky. You were distrustful. Okay, now I understand what went wrong. So far, we don't even have a repair problem. You went back to Big Sky and you said, hey, when I was on vacation, I noticed 3 quarts of oil were leaking and I needed a thermostat gasket. What did you tell them to do?
He said they guaranteed their work, and I asked him if he could fix
none of their work went bad.
Well, I had to get another timing belt put on my car.
By who?
By Bad Rock Automotive. I had to go...
Wait, where's Bad Rock Automotive?
Bad Rock is, it's in Divide.
Where's that? Where? What state?
It's in Colorado.
Okay, when did you have that done? That new timing belt?
Well, I had it done on 3/22.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me. Big Sky did your timing belt in April of 2016.
Correct.
And a year later, basically, you had it done at Bad Rock.
They had to do it.
Why? Why? What happened?
Because, well, when oil leaks on a timing belt, then they have to replace it. And
where did the oil...
Al, is that correct?
That is true. Because it weakens it.
Okay. The oil leaked on the time. We have a whole year that went by. You went to California. You came back to Neighborhood Garage.
Yes.
Or Big Sky. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. Neighborhood was in California. You come back to Hometown, and you say to Hometown, I don't like the work you did, or what? What did they do when you went back to them?
Well, Hometown is the one that
Listen, Hometown originally did your timing belt. You went to California. You came back. You were upset that you leaked oil. You went to Hometown and said what?
Okay, wait. Big Sky Auto is the one I went back to. I went to Hometown to find out why I was leaking oil.
Okay, I'm just going to take a pause now, okay? Hold on a second.
You know, there's nothing that I can hear that this shop did wrong.
Here's what happened. Okay, now I have it. Big Sky did the timing belt. She went to California. They discovered an oil leak. She came back and went back to Big Sky. Big Sky says, we guarantee our work. Okay? This is where I'm confused. What happened then? It's not Shelley's fault. I swear. She's telling me the story. Okay. So you went to California, came back, and went back to Big Sky. That was the very first shop. What did they say they were going to do for you? Because I see that they did nothing then. They did nothing. What?
They did nothing.
Okay, but you said to them, I have an oil leak. Did they say, let's look at it? What did they say?
I walked in, and because
of course you walked in. I just want to hear what they did. What did they do?
They would charge me another $500 to $600.
To do what? Okay, to fix the oil leak.
To put the new timing belt back on, yes.
Oh, hold on. Big Sky did the timing belt to begin with.
Correct.
Then you went to California. No one is telling. Okay, but you went back to Big Sky for an oil leak. Okay, right?
Yes.
Okay, and Big Sky said, well, you need a new timing belt?
No, but I took my car somewhere else, and they said I needed to take it back to Big Sky.
For what?
Because they found that a large oil leak.
Okay,
and
but
they said that,
see, here's the problem. Big Sky may not be responsible for an oil leak on a 237,000-mile car just because they did the timing belt. Al, there could be an oil leak that has nothing to do with the timing belt.
Right, and the oil leak leaked onto the timing belt.
I understand
and
that.
That's where Bad Rock or whatever that place, they did the timing belt in Divide.
Did they fix the oil leak?
Did they fix it? Yeah.
Shelley.
yes, they did. Yes,
Where
they
was
did.
the oil leak?
Valve cover?
It's all.
Where was the
all
oil
around
leak?
that cover, all around
Was
the
it
belt.
was
the
it
timing
because
belt, the
was it
cover.
because of the work they did on? Did they cause the leak by changing the timing belt?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
but
that's
they
the
said
point.
Nothing that
Here's
they could
the
have done in
point.
the timing belt, right, Al?
No.
To cause a leak.
They didn't cause an oil leak. Here's what I'm telling you, Shelley. Because you had an oil leak is not their fault. And you expected them to fix the oil leak and install a new timing belt free. And it's not their fault. So you went back to Bad Rock, and they did your timing belt, and they fixed your oil leak, and you paid them. Okay, you're fine. You have a car that has 237,000 miles on it. It is not their fault. I'm sorry. No one did you wrong here. I don't think anyone did you wrong. I don't think the guys at Big Sky did you wrong. I don't think the guys in California did you wrong. They only charge you a few bucks to fix those minor things. And then you went back and those guys did your timing belt and fixed the oil leak for $400 and something. You didn't get treated badly. And guess what? You're going to develop more leaks and more problems. I don't mean to chastise you, Shelley, but you can't blame people who work on your car for subsequent problems that have nothing to do with it. You just can't.
They all did it last.
This report is brought to you by.
It was a year before.
So what would leak on the timing belt?
Valve cover or the cam?
And that had nothing to do with that.
So she, I think they put some, they put a cam,
Look,
gasket on
she
there.
drove around a year with an oil leak. That's not their fault.
Here's what you need to know. On a lot of timing belts, you have to pull the valve cover in order to take off the timing covers. If you put a new gasket, you reseal it, it's going to leak right away. If it has a problem, it will leak right away. It isn't something a year later it develops to leak.
So no, she said it was right away, and they wouldn't fix it. But she failed to say what she did for a year.
That's what I'm saying. How do you go for a year?
She probably put 10,000 miles on that car that year. Look, she's not going to do these guys to pay her. She's just not. Well, they should. Was she expecting them to pay?
Sign up fast. Well, it's because they warranted the work. Now, they did a lot of work on there. You can see they did the, not only the timing belt, but I thought they did oil change. They changed radiator. But I thought they did a camshaft.
I feel badly with that woman. She's not going to get the car fixed on their dime. Well, even if she ended up getting it done somewhere else, why would they possibly pay her for that receipt? Even if they did do something wrong. After a year.
Time to get your finances in order. Stephen Cox.
And the belt didn't fail on its own, it failed because of the oil leak.
Helping you save money with
So the oil leak is separate.
Mark, I just need you to help me eventually get my access stuff.
Into where the timing belt's at, oil can get in there.
Yeah.
Just
update. I mean, I have. I'm going to give you. We do send you
seal,
the full. I'll tell you what.
And then we get our cover if we have not all cars.
Yeah, because they can't seal.
I like your idea.
That's good. That's why we send a lot of seals, the
control, let our terrorists do it. I think we get it. Then all they have to do is split it. Well, what I'll have them do is create a troubleshooter based upon the new look. Use the same thing. Rather than design it for the terrorists, don't worry about it. I'll just design it for them. Okay. But it's going to have the same theme as what I'm saying.
Exactly. I have it already laid out. already have.
No, but I'm saying in my brain, what I'm going to do is have them put that theme in there, and then the content that we want in there, he can start surgically moving over.
That's exactly right. On a test site, on a development site, troubleshooter.com development site, but we keep troubleshooter.com point out and all this oil on top.
And then before we launch it, we don't make any changes to referral lists, even though we're building the second one. Then the final step will be pulling down the stuff we don't want on referral lists anymore. And that's where we'll probably need your guys looking at it.
That's what the company put on the bill, it's got only the oil on it.
Absolutely. I'm serious. Just somebody that I just get you the WordPress guy.
I don't think that's not what we want. It's just the WordPress stuff is going to be
no, the database. The terrorist.
It's going to have to be him. No, he didn't. I'll talk to him this weekend. It's so weird. I got a great relationship. I mean, as good a relationship as I can get when he's in Pakistan, you know. No, we want him doing it anyhow. Or people he knows there. The company he worked for. Oh, it looks great.
No, but they cleaned up the database.
Oh, Velva did a great job on that whole thing. Great job. It looks great. When they apply it to referral lists, basically it just updates everything. In other words, all we're doing now is just changing the look for the most part. There's nothing that's going to hurt us right now.
So when will they have you down the new site done right?
I emailed him. I'm open this weekend.
The original new site, okay.
On Denver's talk station.
The original.
I don't have to tell them. Why don't you tell them our ultimate plan?
No, you saw the email I sent, didn't you?
A lot of that happened just because I didn't decide to size together. And the amount
yeah, because I mean, we just got to think going forward how we want to do it.
I agree. The bells come up and go through
concessions and skid lines.
I'm going to Central City, Blackhawk.
So a lot of manufacturers have gone back to chains. Okay. So it's not weight or anything like that. It was.
Would you ever name a company bad anything?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Well, if they're located in Bad Rock, if that's the name of a community, I don't know. Is it?
That's interesting.
No,
it's in Woodland Park.
It's in Woodland Park. But Bad Rock, I don't know, unless there is like a rock over there, like a Castle Rock, there's a local Bad Rock. I don't know. It's just like that Oops Construction. Who the hell names their company Oops?
Ouch Dental.
Yeah, Ouch Dental, or, you know, Proctology. I mean, you know, who would, you know, 303-713-8255. There are certain names you shouldn't have, right? Now,
oh no, haircut.
I hope Shelley is not upset. I can't help her. Suzanne, she's still on. She wants to still talk. I like Shelley. I think she didn't even get ripped off, actually. Everyone who did the work for her did it at a great price. I just don't want to, you know, I just don't want to belabor something. When you have work done on an old car, you're going to have problems, and they're not necessarily related. So we're done. Okay.
We had a Facebook question.
Yes.
So I think it was an 07 Tahoe. The guy's got 140,000 miles. He wants to know, can you look at the timing belt, guys, and tell if it's been done?
No, you can't. You can't. That's the problem. You can't see if it's going to go bad.
And then the second question is, he says, when's the next deal on timing belts? And I assume he's referring to your $100 off.
You had $100 off.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Mark asked me would I go and do that again. Absolutely.
You'll do
on
it
a
for
complete
him?
assembly. Yeah, you do them as a kit, tensioner, seals, belt. That's the right way to do them. Do them that, and the warranty comes with them.
And you'll subtract $100.
$100. It's a national warranty too. So she's like, this lady going to California, our stuff's covered there. You don't have to come back to our shop.
Jill, what's going on with you, Jill?
Oh, hi. Good.
Hi, Jill.
How are you, Tom?
I'm doing good. Your Volkswagen isn't?
Yes. We purchased a 2011 Tiguan Volkswagen.
Yeah.
It had about 65,000 miles on it.
That's not bad.
It was for my 16-year-old son, and so it was his first car, but he drove only for about 1,500 miles.
Yes.
And the transmission failed, and we had to replace the whole thing for $5,600.
Oh my goodness! Now
And it was
wait,
only 1,500 miles later.
1,500 miles after you bought it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is this something that is normal for 65,000 miles, Jeff? That's not, is it, for that?
No,
journey?
that'd be early.
Now, how much she paid? Is that a lot?
That's not actually out of the realm for what could possibly be for that car, yeah.
Now, next question. Is it something that she could have found on a pre-inspection, pre-buy inspection?
Potentially, depending on what the failure was.
What was the failure, Jill?
The whole thing had to be replaced.
But you know why?
I don't know why.
The transmission simply failed. How did it fail? Was he driving it?
He was driving it. I think he was driving it, and he could tell something was wrong with it. And before it was unable to drive, they had it towed to a shop.
Okay. So how is it running now?
Well, we paid the $5,600, so.
How is it running now?
Now it's running great.
Okay. Really, in a word, to make this short, you don't really have recourse unless, now this is the big unless with used cars, even if sold as is, most of them are, unless they lied to you or defrauded you in some way by covering it up. You have to prove not just that they knew about it, but they covered it up. Knowing about it, they don't have to tell you. They can sell that car with a bad transmission. They don't have to tell you. But they can't cover it up or lie about it. So do you think you were misled in any way?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they knew.
No, Jill, it doesn't matter what they knew, even if they knew it was bad. But if you said, "How is the car?" and they said perfect, or if they said, great, or that, and you can prove it, or they lied and said, let's say there was extra thick transmission fluid in there, or I don't know if that's even a myth or you remember the old myth that people would pack the transmission to keep it quiet. Is that possible?
That was on the stick shifts. They'd talk about putting sawdust or something.
But you can't pack these auto transmissions.
No, you'll plug stuff up in a heartbeat.
So did they cover it up? Probably not. Jill, there's really not much recourse. Did you ask them if they would do anything for you?
So yes, it was from the Volvo Rickenbach.
Okay, I want to find out if they offered anything at all, maybe a credit, future service, something. But the long and short of it is they don't have to, unless I'm missing something, and I'll be happy to continue this discussion. It's up to you. We have a lot more to talk about on the Troubleshooter Show. Hi, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino.
No, we've got two.
Mark and Dan, pardon me, sorry, I need to know about this Line 3 guy. Remember the Mercedes Sprinter Turbo problem? I don't remember the problem, but I remember it being complicated. The Sprinter Turbo. Remember that a few weeks ago?
Yeah, they fixed the turbo.
Yeah.
And I remember exactly what happened. This is a great fucking call.
Okay.
So
this guy's back on.
This company replaced it.
Okay.
They screwed up when they replaced this turbo on this Sprinter diesel. And how they screwed up was they didn't get the fuel out of something when they replaced it. So when they turned on the fan, it revved up and blew the fucking engine.
Oh, I remember that.
So now the reason he's calling.
You follow what I'm saying?
The Mercedes is still sitting in the shop. The shop is saying you have 48 hours to pick it up and give us our money.
I remember we got into it, but I don't
know.
No,
we had Colorado. The guy from Colorado Springs Dodge came on that works on Sprinters and said if they didn't do that turbo right, that could definitely happen. It's their fault.
It can cause it to over-rev.
Way over-rev, and you can't stop it once they turn it on.
Call a runaway engine.
Yep, runaway engine.
And they did it because
it's on Google.
They did not drain.
Call up Colorado Springs and ask them what they didn't drain when they did that turbo.
So they won't do anything about it. They rebuilt the turbo.
They told the guy he's got 48 hours to pay.
rebuilt the turbo.
Yes.
Started it and it failed immediately.
Not only did it fail immediately, it blew the engine
They're
out.
saying the engine caused their work to be invalid, not that their work caused the engine problem.
I don't know what they're
No,
saying.
they're saying we did what we were paid to do. We did the turbo.
Correct, but they did it improperly.
We can't help it that the engine ran away.
Yeah, but it's their fault it ran away because they didn't install it
Why don't we
properly.
get the shot back on?
Did the shop ever come?
No, I don't think they did.
I thought we had them on and discussed it.
No, but get
Don't even know.
the guy back on from Colorado Springs Dodge.
The manhunt for Wisconsin.
Make sure you put their phone number on
They'll
too.
blow away in a heartbeat. If that happens to you on the road.
What would they not drain though when they're
Well,
doing
if
the
it's
turbo?
floating up in the turbo, because the turbo feeds in through the exhaust side.
So they
now
pull it apart,
that
they rebuild
diesel engine has enough compression, it's going to pop off that oil.
Yep.
A broken oil control ring on a diesel engine, single cylinder, can cause that entire thing to run away.
Really?
That's why you have runaway truck ramps on the road. Not only because they're in too high of a gear, so now they can't control it going down the road. They actually have pull levers, so you can choke off the air going into these things to kill them, because a single oil control ring, if it's leaking, gets to the top side, that engine is going to take off, and it will run off the oil itself, even if you cut off fuel supply. Those engines are going to run.
I can't figure out though, he pulls the turbo off, they rebuild it, they put it back on, start it, it runs away. Where did he get that fuel?
I'm not familiar enough with it, with this system, to be able to
See,
answer that and tell you.
Colorado, this guy told us
But
exactly.
if there was oil, particularly if it's oil saturated with fuel, or if there's fuel inside that system, you're popping that thing off.
Oh, the diesel tech that works on them down there said, oh shit, if you don't drain blah, 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 it'll run away as soon as you
I
start.
can see that 100%.
That's an expensive mistake.
The old Detroit diesels, man, I'll tell you what, you see those things take off, good luck, get out of the way.
That is an expensive mistake.
Take a shot at the business, but there is no obligation. If you're told
A gas engine can't do that, huh?
cases, people have said furnaces.
Not like that. You don't have heat compression.
Well, I mean, if the accelerator was stuck, it would do
Yeah,
it.
but like he says, you kill the ignition system. Diesel doesn't care. It's running off a compression. You don't need spark.
That's why you gotta kill the air.
And that price will not
Yeah.
change.
And you better be able to kill it sufficiently. I mean, all the time we see people with diesel engines coming in and complaining the training's not working right. You know, probably 1 out of 6 of these guys that comes in and says it's just working sluggish. First thing we do is check the engine oil, air filter.
1086.
Is that Drew's replacement, I hope?
I've got some bad news for you. This is Brett Kitchen.
Because these things plug up, especially these guys with the cold air intakes.
You look like a nerd. Nerd!
Wrong. A qualified
And these things will plug up. The engine doesn't care. It's going to run. It'll try to suck that filter right into the motor.
top tax rate of
Say that again.
1%. There's a better way.
Just commenting on your
Nerd!
It's been around for years.
And it makes sense. It is a Rocky shirt, so.
Retirement, no income taxes when you die.
Hey, whatever happened? You used to do sports. What was that all about? Oh, I mean, you used to do the Rockies.
Nothing.
Yeah. Well,
493-17.
they don't like being talked bad about,
It was a
so.
misquote.
He'd go out and do all the Rockies
Welcome to
games.
Wall Street to protect
And,
yourself from taxes and crashes.
The owner, or not the owner, but the management of the Rockies looked at his Facebook, and on his post 2 years earlier, he was saying how bad the pitching for the Rockies was, and the Rockies were horrible that year. And told iHeart he had not ever worked a Rockies game again. So he went from kind of, always out at the ballpark working the game to stuck in the building because of his Facebook. I try to tell my kids that shit all the time, man. They can put shit in while they're teenagers up on Facebook. Their employers a million years later can see it.
That's why I down my pictures of me posing with my seat up.
That's when you were built.
As long as you leave them in the drawer.
That's when it was on muscle right here and grabbed
This is a good one. This, whatever company this is with that turbo, they got to fix this vehicle. I'm telling you, they made it. I'm hoping she gets them on from the diesel tech again. See, Mercedes Sprinters, when Chrysler owned Mercedes, all these Dodge guys and Chrysler guys worked on Sprinters. That's how they know all that shit. That Sprinter was actually made under Mercedes, it was made under Dodge, and it was made under one other one, I thought.
It's always been
They're all the
Mercedes
same
piece.
shit.
It's all Mercedes piece. The thing I believe is that the rights were given to Daimler Chrysler. To continue the manufacturing, exactly. And now that they make their own, they have it's similar, but it's not the same thing.
My Chrysler 300, it was...
It was called the intercooler.
Okay.
What do they need?
You got to drain the intercooler.
Yeah.
I didn't drain the intercooler when I changed the turbo out, so as soon as I fired it up, the turbo started pumping oil into it.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help, I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we use the media to give you power or just to give you peace of mind. Have you ever had anything where you just want to scream? You can do it here. Just call us, even if you don't want help. You just want to get something off your chest. The longest running radio show of its kind, or no, of any kind, with the same host. And we have tremendous results for you, millions of dollars. Hey, that we recover. I want to say something. I wanted to scream at motor vehicle. I don't understand this. There's got to be a better way. No, there's got to be a better way.
It's horrid.
No one should have to endure that.
How long were you there yesterday?
If we want to break anything, ISIS, we don't have to waterboard them. We just send them to renew registrations. That's all. And that would be their punishment. You know, you tell us where your cells are operating, or you have to renew this registration.
That'd be under the Geneva Convention.
That would be outrageous.
That would be a cruel and unusual punishment. But Tom, they actually, a couple of maybe 3 weeks ago, I saw a news thing on the news.
Something has to be done.
I happened to accidentally run into the news.
Something has to be done.
And they talked about, to a spokesman, how they were going to improve the service.
Now,
so I'm sure it's coming.
Now, I swear to you, there's something wrong. It's fundamentally wrong in a technological age that we have that you cannot register cars in an easier way.
And you can't even hire a kid to do it for you because you've got to be the person there.
Yeah. Now, dealers do it. When you buy a new car, everything comes in the mail. You don't go down there. That's because dealers have a dealer window they go to, and there's a certain process. They get POA, power of attorney, and do it. I have some ideas in my head going around that I would like to propose. I don't know how you propose that to the state of Colorado, but I'm serious about it. That could be modeled around the country. They have made these improvements first. First, I want to say truly, even though we joke about it, the people are very friendly and nice, okay? Some of them have the attitude, you know, I'm going to look for something wrong. You know, they just love saying no. But most of the people are nice. I'd like to say not, but they are nice. And, you know, Potsy, the guy, the fat cop that takes your name when you walk in, or security guard, you know, they check you in, and then they put you on the computer. So this is where they've improved it. You check in and you say what it is. Now you have the choice. Is it a driver's license? Is it a renewal? Is it a registration? Is it a new registration? Is it from a dealer, a private individual? And they give you a number according to that. So they let you get processed accordingly, right? What I mean is there's different lines for different things. So you have A, B, C. You have different A1, A2, A3, and then C1, C2, C. And then so at least the tasks have been divided up. So some windows that go slow don't hold up the guys that just have to come in and boom, 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 boom. I like that part of it. That's good. But also, a lot of people who show up there will never get seen. It's theoretically, you can wait 2 hours without being seen. Do you know that?
And then they close it up.
Yeah, they said, well, we're closed. And so after spending my afternoon, I said, I'm going in the morning. So I went 20 minutes to the hour. They opened at 7, and there were already about 40 people in line.
You know, you're talking.
I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
It's a crazy phenomenon.
You realize that's just Denver. Like Douglas County, I've never stayed in one
County.
Longer than a half hour.
You went to Arapahoe County and had a problem?
No problem.
Oh,
just waiting.
Slow.
No problem.
Yeah, I go to the one on Prince, and man, that thing is fast.
Really?
And over there, they know we can read, so they have a machine. They don't have the cop anymore. You just walk up and you push the button.
That's how Douglas
and it dispenses the deal. Yeah, I had to have somebody help me read it, but I mean, it was pretty good.
Could you see it?
I was eye level.
Did you bring a step stool?
There's just something terrible about it. It's just terrible. There are certain things you never want to do. And that's one of them. And now, why do you have to go there? What's the reason? You would have to go there when you have to register a car and you didn't buy it from a dealer, right?
Yeah.
Or out-of-state dealer.
Yep.
You have to go there when the dealer does the paperwork, but they send you the notification that your stuff's there.
You still have to go?
And you got to go pick up the plates. Sure. Because you got your temporary tags.
Okay.
You need your regular tags.
Car.
But you don't have to go through a lot, right? And then...
Yeah, you do.
Same thing you just did.
That's terrible.
Yeah, you do. It's painful.
So, Jill, I want to follow up with Jill. She bought a car. This happens so much. We get calls from people, and they say, well, it was just a month. It was just a week. It was just 3 weeks. It was just 100 miles. It was just 1,500 miles. And if a car is purchased as is, the sorry truth is nothing can be done unless they lied to you or defrauded you. They covered it up. They did something very specific to mislead you. Even if they know about a problem, if I know the transmission is about to go, I am not obligated to tell you.
So I found out the problem was that the transmission was leaking, and so within 2.5 months of time, it was leaking fluid and it burned out.
Well, that's even worse because that could have been prevented.
Hey, Jeff, how come if our oil leaks, the oil light will come on? How come no one develops something to where if the transmission fluid's going down, a light comes on?
You know, it's a little bit different with transmission fluid in the sense that a transmission does not burn oil like an engine does.
Well, when should you check the transmission fluid? Her son maybe should have checked it, but no one checks it. I don't check mine.
At the very least, you should be checking it when you're doing your engine oil changes.
I never. Well, Al does my check. So, Al, do you check him every time?
If you are depending on the place that changes your engine oil, you're using some of these more efficient, or not, I shouldn't say efficient, these quick lube places on the corners, you know, the Grease Monkeys, the Jiffy Lube, so the likelihood is that checklist is, it's getting checked off, it's just not getting checked. So you actually pretty much have to be standing onto them. And on that Volkswagen...
Hold on. Yeah, go.
On that Volkswagen, it's a sealed unit, so it's got to be dug from underneath.
Now, what were you going to say, Jill?
Well, I would think that they would be able to, they'd do an inspection before they...
She said it was just 1,500 miles since she drove off the lot, so why would it be that low?
Depending on where it's leaking, there are places on that transmission that can leak fast enough to empty that transmission.
Here's what I think happened, Jill. If they have any kind of a service department, they knew it was leaking, and they just probably topped it off, and that's it. They don't feel compelled to tell people. I mean, that's what pre-purchase exams are. Did you have it inspected?
Well, I think they said they inspected it.
Yeah, never, ever, ever let them inspect it.
Boy, we hear that so
What
often,
about the spotting on the driveway? What about the spotting every time
did you notice
park
any leaking ever?
Did
he?
We did not. No,
how often did he actually look? I mean, there's a certain amount of responsibility to the person who's driving the vehicle to watch.
He could be in an apartment.
Jill, I know you didn't call to hear this because it's not a good thing to hear, but I got to tell you, you're going to waste a lot of time unless you flat out ask them. Sometimes dealers feel badly about stuff and might say, "Hey, let's do this or let's do that." So
no, I went back.
And who is it? Who is it?
Rick and Volvo. And my son's dad and I went back and we told them the situation, and we, said, we bought several cars from them and we thought they were reliable, but.
And what did they say? Anything?
They said they would not do anything for us.
Well, did they put it that way? How did they put it? I'm just curious.
They said, we'll look into it. We'll call you in a couple days. And then they called back later and said there's nothing they could do for us.
Right. I knew they would say that.
I want to weigh in. Jill, hear this deal. So often what dealers, used car lots, they look at the safety items on a vehicle, and that's what they will typically many times certify. Yeah. And many of the stuff like that, yes, it should be done in check, but they can't warrant. They can't warrant that stuff.
Yeah, and Jill, I would even say, now you know where to buy your next car, because that's not fair either, because this could happen to anyone. It really isn't their fault unless they knew it somehow. Eric has a transmission problem on a 212 Honda Odyssey. Okay, Eric.
Hey, how you doing, Tom? How you doing?
How many miles on this 2012 Odyssey?
It's like 74,000.
Okay.
My question is, my father read somewhere on the internet, when you come to a red light or stop sign, he puts it in neutral because he's afraid you're going to have a heart attack. And I'm afraid, I don't know if that messed up the transmission.
Wait a minute. He puts it in neutral because he's afraid he might have a heart attack?
Yeah, something might happen, like a stroke or something. Okay. He had a stroke 2 years ago.
Okay, how old is he? How old is he?
He's 67.
Okay, I never heard of that, but in any case, you're asking, does that harm it?
Yeah, does that mess up the transmission or make it wear out more by putting a neutral and drive, neutral and drive, neutral and drive when it comes to a red light?
Not necessarily, unless he was sitting in stop-and-go traffic and he's spiking the transmission pressures on a regular basis.
The gear shifter, have a little more wear, but I don't think it's a big deal. Is it on the floor on that car?
No, it should be on the column.
That's on the column, yeah.
So I don't think it's a big deal. How is his health? I'm just curious.
He's fine. He's just afraid that something happens. We read somewhere that somebody had a heart attack and they pushed the gas down and just ran into traffic and made an accident.
Oh, wow. It's amazing that he has the presence of mind or forethought to do that. It just seemed odd to me, by the way. Brendan, I don't think it's excuse me. I hung up on Brendan by mistake. I meant Eric. I don't think it's a big deal. Whoever was on line 2, Suzanne, I'm sorry, I hung up by mistake. I not hung up, I clicked it off the computer. Matt has some follow-up questions. Go ahead about some stuff that happened in the past. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, hi, Tom. Yeah, I called several weeks ago about a Sprinter van.
We remember your call, and do you remember, help me, refresh my memory, please. You were on the line. Didn't we get the shop on the line?
No, not at the time, because I hadn't talked to anybody yet. I was just trying to see where I stood.
And then didn't we come to the conclusion that they did your turbo, and then when they went to start the car for the first time, the turbo blew, right?
Well, no, the turbo didn't blow. My van went into runaway mode because they did not.
That's right. Hold on, but that then ruined the turbo.
No, the turbo was still fine. It ruined my motor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, gotcha. Now.
And so I've called them several.
No, I understand, but they're claiming they're
not responsible.
They're claiming they did what you paid them for. They put a turbo in there, and it's not their fault that your engine did a runaway. However, through your research and through our research, we found out that it probably is their fault, and there's a reason it happened. So we're going to talk about the reason runaways happen and why we think they are responsible coming up. So it's a really good discussion, and I think it's something for everyone to keep in mind, especially because it can happen to you. It's not something weird, it's something common. Wink and Wink are bankruptcy attorneys, a husband and wife team. Mike and Gigi. Listen, if you're going through financial trouble, you don't need to be judged. You need help. Mike and Gigi will give you the help. If you need a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13, what I'm saying to you is I hope you don't need them, but if you do, don't put it off. Just get it over with and learn a lesson and move on. winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center. This report is brought to you by LifeLock.
Still seeing our I-25 trouble spot here in the Mile High City as you head across town for your Friday drive.
So Jeff, you never tried to extend the manual transmission by putting sawdust in it?
No, we use banana peels. Actually, I've had a guy come in one time. He had just recently bought this truck. Needed differential work. It was screaming all the heck on. Pulled the cover off of it. Somebody had literally stuffed this thing full of bananas. Bananas. So the whole banana, the peel, everything, just shoved them in there.
Does it work?
It worked for a little while, long enough for the guy to sell the truck. Tell you what, it was a mess to clean up. So literally, he just packed the differential full of bananas.
And it worked.
It worked long enough to sell the truck. And I had it for like a week.
The sawdust, I think I heard that on maybe our RFD or I think Goober found it.
LifeLock's U.S.-based team helps resolve identity
That's right.
at LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK to save 10%.
If you've been injured, either in an auto accident or any other way where you feel someone else is responsible, our system of justice says that the other party has to pay. Often
Like in the old days, STP, did they put that in cars to boost the
STP's
oil pressure?
Yeah, I don't know that I put it on today's car because of some of the, particularly inside of engine or transmission rather, people did used to put it inside their transmissions. When they started, they would put it in there on aging transmissions to help extend the life of it, if you will, because as the rubber got hard, it wasn't trapping fluid probably, so they thickened it up.
Right.
But today, we're using thinner fluids because with the electronic transmissions and the small orifices, some of these orifices are 5,000s. And to travel cold oil.
Mike was listening to us, and he sent us an updated dead list.
45.
Not funny.
335974500. John
We see a lot when your cars have engine rod ducts or overhead valve noise. They'll find liquids online to put in them.
Right. But I thought STP was for that, for increased oil pressure. If your oil pressure is running bad and stuff, it would keep it thickened up. But I didn't realize it's for transmission.
People would use it that way.
Oh, I see. Okay. But that used to be advertised all the time.
Oh, they sold the heck out of that
Yeah.
TV.
It's like honey. It's like honey and stuff.
No, with the way the petroleum products, or particularly synthetic oils, are made these days, you don't need it. You really don't.
Yeah. But I thought synthetics are thinner, so you can get
synthetics. If you look at molecular level, conventional oil is a linear molecular pattern, whereas the synthetics is more like a sine wave. So it's much more stable. It's got a higher shear rating. It's going to have a higher boiling point, a lower freezing point. It's going to be more resistant to contamination that he was talking about before.
If you're exhausted or irritable or moody, it's natural.
So that gets me on the transmission though. Why they do the seals? You got to go underneath.
I don't have
check
libido, I don't have stamina, I don't have energy.
To keep you out of it.
I know, but
that is the reason. It's to keep you out of it.
I wasn't screwing up with it.
Just checking. Isola for a long time had the tube to the drainage, but no hormones.
Yeah, they still do that. Yeah, they still do that, and there's a special tool for checking it. Okay, which when you order it, it's an $80 dipstick. And we have a thing on the wall. We have later model Jeeps where they've got the new ZF 9 speeds in them, the 948 TDs, and I had to order another dipstick for that. Not yay long. So, but you don't get the measurements until you have it. You don't know where on that stick it's supposed to read. So I'm literally, I'm going to pop off about 400 of these things. I'm going to sell them for about $5 a kilo. I'm going to get my money back.
So if the tranny's leaking, you'll see that on the driveway.
The likelihood is you will see it.
And it can't leak anywhere, and
it doesn't burn long.
Okay. Right, it doesn't burn, but it could leak somewhere.
It could go into the radiator, or some of the later models, particularly on
So Mark, I got a credit on my
radiators or existing condenser mount.
Oh, cool.
For transmission cooling.
They look
So there are places that can go
and they did it
rise,
for
that
the
can have the
date of
instant
that
transfer
purchase.
case.
Yeah, that's good.
They come back 500. That tells you a lot.
Did that cover all your, the new one?
Not
even close, huh?
No, because if you let them stall like
there was no sales tax. I traded down.
Already do that.
Dying.
No sales tax. But registration and ownership tax, you need to, with the credit, $1,300.
But then like
$1,100.
it's too late.
So, is that what you pay about?
I hope you told your
I
mother.
pay about 8 or 9.
I don't remember.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, we are talking cars. And if you have a car question, call us. But we'll talk about anything else that you have on your mind that you need help with, of course. We don't ever make you talk about one topic. So let's talk, did we finish with Matt? No, we didn't. So Matt, here was the deal. Matt took his Mercedes in to be worked on, the Sprinter van, I'm sorry, and then they did a turbo. When they started up the van after the turbo installation, the engine ran away. It was a diesel. It's a diesel, and it ran away and blew the engine. They said, oh, sorry, man, this is really unfortunate. Well, you had your turbo done, so pay us. That's basically what it is. Who did this turbo, Matt?
Well, I don't know the mechanic's name.
No, I mean, what dealership?
It's Springs Auto and Truck Service. So I get a phone call yesterday, 48 hours to remove my van and pay the remaining balance of the turbo.
Let's get these hold on. I need to know the name of the shop. What is it?
Springs Auto and Truck Service.
Now, hold on. These guys want to be paid for that turbo job.
Right, I paid them.
How much? Oh, and how much do they want a balance?
The turbo, well, I paid the balance because they won't release. They said my van's got to be out of there within 48 hours.
Okay, well, it does. You need to get it out because it's plain they're not going to do what's right. But I want to explain to people why is it their fault? Because we're getting a lot of calls saying, "Now, why is it their fault?" I mean, you know, Tom, you always say you can't blame people just because they do work and something else goes wrong. But here's the deal that we found, and Matt, you first turned us on to it. In fact, I think I disagreed with you at first when you told me this happened. I said, you're reaching for it. different. But then I found out this is very common. For when you pull that engine apart, and excuse me, that turbo, and pull it off, you have to drain something, the excess fuel or something.
Well, yeah, because what happened, my impeller, my turbine impeller was broken into pieces.
Yes.
The shop says they've never seen anything like it.
Right.
Mercedes, every Sprinter shop I've called says they see it all the time.
No, right. So then...
metal contamination probably in the whole system.
I understand. But by not draining some residual fuel in the intake manifold...
The inner air cooler must be removed, cleaned by a radiator shop, or most shops just replace them.
I understand that. That's standard in the industry. So by not doing that, when they started up your van, guys, explain what happened. Jeff or Al, explain what happened. By not draining the fuel.
It literally gave it more than it's supposed to handle. The
more fuel.
Engine, more fuel, more oil, and the diesel will actually be able to burn the oil inside that engine. So once it gets into the top end of the compression, it wasn't going through
and it wasn't going through the computer, so it ran away.
Uncontrolled engine RPM, and it will blow that engine.
So what you had was a blown engine because of their negligence.
Well, my fuel injectors, he pulled 3 of them at the time when this happened, I guess. He showed me them. 2 of the injectors that he pulled, the tips are melted, along with the glow plugs. They keep telling me they're going to do, we'll do an engine scope, a borescope, and a compression test on those 3 cylinders. I've been waiting 3 weeks.
Are they denying that they did the installation wrong?
Of course. They told me you got 48 hours to get this out of here, pay the remaining balance.
Well, you need to get it out of there, and we need to sue them. What is it going to cost to fix, though? I shudder to think. 25 grand?
Well, according to the Mercedes people, I've called so many, Tom.
How much?
$12,500 for a motor, and then the labor, it's around 16 to 20. I get different answers.
You need to sue them, and we can help you. Listen, I got to tell you, bro, they're dead wrong. They're dead wrong.
I know. They won't do nothing.
Springs Automotive.
Springs Auto and Truck Service.
And where are they located?
They're at 6035 Galley Road in Colorado Springs, 80915.
Galley Road. We gotta warn people. Mark, can you call them? Or
they won't talk to nobody.
I tried calling a minute ago. She was just like, they're both out of the office. They're unavailable.
What's their phone number over there? I think
they've been out of the office or in a meeting for a month now.
I think people should let them know they heard about them. Now, listen, folks. I believe we do a public service when we do that. It's like the internet. You do a public service when you let people know what you think. I think they need to know this is not going to be an isolated event. This is wrong. This is dead wrong.
I'm seeing a couple different ones. What's the exact name of it? Springs what?
Auto and Truck Service.
Truck Service Center.
They have good reviews for what that's worth.
Well, they're a huge shop. I mean, they've got big motorhomes, touring buses, diesel trucks. They've got all kinds of. But for some reason, they don't care about the little, repair guy with his little Sprinter van.
Listen,
they're not doing.
They ran away your engine. Can you guys think of any other reason that engine would run away?
No, none at all. And my question is, did they even give you an explanation as to how it ran away? Did they tell you?
Well, yeah, they keep saying, well, we want to know why that turbine, that the impeller was broken. We don't know why that was broken.
Because they have a history of doing that. Those turbos have problems on those vehicles.
Yeah, every other shop every Sprinter.
In my opinion, they put the screws to this guy big time, and they probably know. They probably know they caused something, and they're trying to weasel out of it. Colorado Springs.
Okay, here's their phone number, just in case you
Well, what do I do?
Want to express an opinion. 719-382-0363. 719-382-0363. Okay, here's what you have to do. You got to get it out of there. We can probably help you. Maybe somebody down there.
It's going to have to get an attorney. It's over.
No,
it's going to be well over 75.
I'm talking about to get his car out of there. Do we have one of our shops that can get it and that ultimately?
I've got it scheduled. I've got it scheduled to be pulled out of there through my insurance.
No, listen, get it. Here's what you need to do. You need to get it out of there.
This might be an insurance. Wait, this might be a casualty loss. Hold on. It was an event. Yes, it was caused by someone, but if you have insurance, perhaps they go after the negligent party. I never thought of that.
Tom.
This could be something for insurance.
Let's get it over to Colorado Springs Dodge.
Okay.
Tom, I've tried. I've called. I
because
called my
they have
insurance company on
Chrysler,
Monday.
they have Chrysler products. Colorado Springs
Oh,
Dodge.
they've got techs that work on this stuff, but more importantly, they can look at it and be his witness, and hopefully that'll work your insurance.
What did your
angle.
insurance tell you?
I called my insurance. I made a claim on Monday.
No, just tell me what they said.
They said they don't have a claim, but the guy's been calling down there.
Not
and that's
his
what
insurance, your insurance.
Yeah, I have no claim for this.
Well, wait a minute. You need to file it.
I did. I filed a claim on my insurance, Farmers.
Yeah.
But they said I'm not covered for this kind of thing.
What do they mean? Where are you not covered? Do you have collision? Do you have comprehensive?
I do, but they're saying it's not a mechanical issue. If it would have fell off their lift, yeah, then it's covered. Or off
I
their tow
think
truck.
it was an accident. I want to talk to Compass Insurance Group, our brokers, and see
But
if
you're
they
going to
have
have
an opinion.
No, because what's happening is this shop that it's at there now, they're not taking responsibility, so they're not. It probably doesn't appear to be a coverable action right now. It's got to get somewhere where they'll fight for you with your insurance company.
Listen, we're going to help you. Now, listen, this is going to be a lawsuit, but I think it's ridiculous. You got to go through with it, Matt. We're talking about a lot of money. Now, we can at least get someone to start this for you, but you got to get this moving.
Recommend photos and videos, whatever you can get. Get as much information.
That's right.
Yeah, talk to the shop.
Take your notes and make sure you have everything. And then go online and make a stink about this and get a lot of people to go online and make a stink about this. Springs Auto and Truck Service Center, 6035 Galley Road in Colorado Springs, 719-382-0363. Imagine this, folks. They do an engine turbo, turn on the engine without cleaning the intake. It overruns, blows the engine, and they say, tough.
We should, I'll go
It
down.
said
Let's
when
do
one
a
door
video on
closes,
these guys.
okay,
run away.
Like your shop, BMW in Highlands Ranch. When you close the
He's lucky
door
it's
of
not
your own
moving.
car, you can open the door
that
with
would be
certified
terrible. There used to be a thing
premium
up here,
with
you know,
an exclusive
called
0%
but,
financing
they
offer up to 60
towing
months
a
from
truck
BMW
down the road, diesel
Financial
truck down the road.
Services. So hurry
Didn't
in to shop
disconnect the
BMW
rear
today
drive
and
shaft
see
and
what
transmission
doors
to
open for
neutral.
you.
Pocket turn
BMW,
the C's up and
the ultimate
lock the
driving
input shaft and main shaft together.
important
Literally.
details. Visit
Now the
Shop
truck,
BMW in Highlands Ranch.
it's going through the transmission, fires up the engine. The vehicle that's being towed ends up pushing the tow vehicle off the road.
Jeez. I'm Brian with Advanced Mud Jacking. We have the solution to your settling concrete issues. Our time-tested procedure lifts and stabilizes. Our process with sand and cement.
Runaway engines are no joke.
Chemicals, and it lasts.
These will be run backwards.
303-424-9441. From
No.
Castle Rock,
Well,
I thought I had heard maybe the old one.
Advanced Mud Jacking at 303-424-9441. Or send me a note. Advanced Mud
Yeah, they run till they blow up. The only way they say you can stop it is there was a way to use stop the intake. Stop the air, yes. But whatever you're gonna stick there, you better get ready for it to be sucked in.
Don't stand too close to the intake.
I'll be in there.
If it's black smoke, you're overfuel or under air.
Is it really
White
strong?
smoke, you're under air or overfuel. Or air or under fuel. If it's red smoke, you're standing too close to the intake.
Well, meanwhile, many of these people themselves reported to Hannity weekday afternoons at 1.
So I heard that.
Did you know
What's
slow
his name?
internet can actually
O'Reilly took an extended vacation or something.
Being charged with sexual.
It's been planned. It's been planned.
Supposed to be back
He's in the back.
Yeah.
He's in the back.
It was, I mean, he was going, that was,
So he planned it in the fall.
And he has a book out, Traditional Values.
150 megabits per second.
see, I don't think he did much wrong, honestly. He settled with them, they got a shitload of money.
Not this last one, though.
Oh, there's a new one? Oh, I didn't know there was a new one. I thought
She's not suing. She just,
why isn't she suing?
Because she just wants to put the word out. Because he was supposed to.
What did he do? Is this the one where he wanted to use the lupa or the taco or whatever the hell it was?
The lupa. He asked her up to the motel room. She didn't go. He says, hey, we both got teenage kids. And then after that, he just got very, and he didn't bring her on the show.
He didn't bring her on the show.
40 megabits per second.
Why would he bring her?
Well, it was
He
after
was talking about doing it.
It was after originally he had offered for a position. Offered her.
Oh, I
And
got
then when
you.
she declined, they not only went away, she ended up losing the job.
Oh, did she lose her job?
Yeah, because she was working for the
And she says it's all because of that.
Well, yeah, but she actually never pursued it. It wasn't until she was talking to somebody else, and they were asking about it, asking, well, why didn't you do this with O'Reilly? She said, well, because I wasn't sleeping. And then she started digging into his past. And then when she found out all these other people, she reached back out to her.
I make our producer do all kinds of stuff. So, I don't know what's wrong with her.
I don't know. You should hear what she complains to about me.
She's building a case.
We saw a private thread on that. And the problem was small.
She said it was easily handled.
It was easily handled. One hand behind her back. Oh, listen, you can hear her go. Let's go. That's where you got it going. Right now.
Yes, sir.
It locks up.
No, it's not over.
They tried to do this thing for Mark Trenner, and he
That's
won't
wrong.
accept it.
Why want to say?
I don't know.
Yeah, motor just went out. Just locked up.
It's going to actually burn all the oil right out of the crankcase.
It's not acceptable.
Whether it happens during
Yeah, no.
or any time in the future. Don't wait until you have a
A
problem.
broken oil control ring in the car. One cylinder is all it takes. These cylinders will run away.
Was that a runaway?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah. It goes going.
I want to see it. And it's a real one? They didn't like do it on purpose?
Wow, it's on the side of the road.
This is I filled out this whole thing for Mark Trenner's and signed, and it won't let me. It won't. Look what it says. Look, Greg. That's the signature thing you're supposed to put in there right now. I hit submit. Watch what it says when I hit
We're
submit.
taking that old car, we put the brick on the.
Signature is not been entered in proper
It takes a
format.
while.
It all says any combination of letters, numbers, spaces. Holy shit! So what's wrong?
Are they in it?
No, it's everybody does.
How do you stop it?
I'll do try that.
The only way to stop it is to kill the intake.
So open the hood and stuff a rag in the intake.
Only if you want to lose your hands.
I mean, that whole thing could go. So it seized?
Well, yeah, because like I said, most likely what that did is a broken oil control ring. So it's literally burning the oil out of the crankcase. Once it's ran long enough, it's actually burned all that oil out. It's got a
I bet if he had Slick 50 in there, he'd be okay.
Oh, there you go, probably.
The turbos can do it too. The turbo O-ring goes out.
What's an engine cost on something like that?
These big ones, oh my god.
Oh, okay, I have any idea.
Well, that you couldn't even probably use a block.
Like
Okay, Tom Martino, Henrietta, what's going on? I'm sorry, hold on.
Oh shoot! I disconnected that guy. I just disconnected two people, one right after another because of this phone, the buttons. Oh my goodness!
That's
I'm
the
so
same
sorry.
phone you've been using forever.
No. I'm so
You hear
sorry.
this, guys.
Henriette wanted to give kudos to A1 Concrete. Please call back and listen. You can use this number too, 303 Martino, 303-627-8466. Roland, you have a question on diesel oil. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tom. Happy Easter there, guys.
Thank you very much, sir.
I just became a new diesel owner, joined the family.
What kind?
I've got a Chevy Duramax, very impressive truck.
It's powerful.
Oh my God, it's just incredible.
Isn't that what you got, Jeff?
I do. Love that truck.
Yes. And anyway, I've been reading, I guess Shell has come out with some new Rotella oil products, like T4, T5, T6. They came out in 2016. Do you guys know anything about that?
I'm not completely up to speed on it. I've been sticking. I actually use a semi-synthetic with mine. Sticking with the regular Rotella, you're fine with it. I'm just a firm believer inside the synthetics.
We used to sell Kendall years ago.
Kendall's a good product.
Do you really believe that brands make a difference?
I think when you're sticking to some of the big name brands, it can make a difference. If you're using some off-the-wall stuff you haven't heard of and you're not seeing that API sticker on the side of there, it makes a huge difference.
How about gas mileage? Does it affect that?
Well, if you're running too thick of an oil, it will definitely reduce it. But obviously you want to follow the recommendations from the manufacturer as to what your viscosity should be.
Well, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's keep going. Brendan, what's happening with you? Hello, Brendan.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What's happening?
So got a used pickup truck. Ended up having some issues with it, with cam phasers. Got referred to a shop by the dealer I bought it from. Had the work done, cam phasers done, verified that they had failed, did the timing kit and all that. Cost me almost $3,000. Now, 10 months have passed, having an issue with what I think is the timing chain tensioner.
How much did you spend all with them, all in all?
Just under $2,700
Okay.
for the repair.
Now, why do you think the tensioner is bad?
I have had some people look at it and listen to it, and I've actually listened to some videos and watched videos on YouTube on it.
What do you think's wrong with it?
The tensioner seems to be bleeding off when the vehicle sits for over like 2 hours, and when the vehicle starts up, there's a distinct latch, a rattle, which sounds like the chain.
Guys, what do you think?
Once the vehicle starts, it goes right away.
Guys, what do you think?
What vehicle was this? I'm mishearing it. A Ford F-150. Okay. Here's the problem with the variable cam timing on the Ford. I know because I have one in the shop right now. That's a major problem. Those vehicles require oil level to be up all the time. If you run a quart low, quart and a half, it is detrimental because you can't build up enough pressure to make those phasers and the solenoids activate the variable cam timing. The tensioner that you're talking about on that timing chain assembly has to have full pressure. Low oil causes a problem. Now, these motors are notorious for sludging up as well. People drive, they don't change the oil, they'll go 8,000, 9,000 miles, decide to change it. So it's plugging all the oil galleys. You can start doing other components, but you need to verify
the hell out of me.
Oil pressure.
No, he is. He's scaring me.
Am I scared? I'm just. Am I too technical here?
No.
Blah 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 blah.
All of this can go wrong. Okay, so
here's the. I'm giving them the recipe. You need to put a mechanical oil pressure gauge on the motor. There are 2 separate ports to do it. Verify oil pressure. I believe 25 is minimum. PSI is minimum. You will see when that thing starts making noise, the oil pressure will drop much below that. That's a problem because it requires a motor to be redone.
And this
Ford knows the problem.
It is an extremely common problem to the
Very
point
common.
that he actually never said what kind of vehicle this was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is the F-150.
Yeah, the 5.4 liter.
Triton 3 valve.
5.4, absolutely. They didn't have any problem. No, only kidding. They had several. Good motor. They
off a description. We knew exactly what we were dealing with.
Yeah, man.
No, seriously. I hope you got your answers though.
Well, I've had it down to the shop where I had the work done. Spoke to them for an extended period of time before bringing it down, describing the problem. You know, it goes away after starts. They said, okay, bring it down. Brought it down. It sat down there for a week. I basically had to chase them as far as no calls back. Finally was talking to them towards the end of that week, and they said, hey, we couldn't replicate the issue. So they said, well, you might as well come in and take it back. So I took it back.
Well, I don't need to go through all this pain and misery. Trust me. I mean, this is just, it's already, I'm pulling my teeth out.
So it's back down there now, and
okay.
I'm just wondering, what can I do?
Okay, well,
oil pressure.
Get it out of there. If they're not doing what you want, get it out of there.
Yeah. They're weird that way, Tom. They'll run perfectly, and then a customer will complain of them all of a sudden messing up. We just had one.
What do you do? I mean, listen, isn't it about time people just start cutting bait? I mean, seriously, why do you argue with people? If they're not doing what you want, why not just say, you know what? I mean, I know you want to get your value, and if you paid them or anything, but
yeah.
You got to just stop. I mean, we just have to stop. So get it out of there. Go somewhere else. Tell me, is it in? Can it be driven?
Yeah. I'm actually going to
get it out. Have you already spent money with them? Have you spent money with them?
Not on top of the original.
It's a bad sign. Get out of there. Go to where are you located?
I'm actually up in Breckenridge, and I actually have it all the way down there, which is a good hour and a half away, because you can't really get a good mechanic up here without an arm and a leg.
Okay. You work on that stuff?
We do it all the time. Absolutely. Is it worth the ride? Yeah, we got tons of mountain people come down to us.
Truly, go to referralist.com. I really mean that. You will never find better auto people. Never. We really put them through the ringer. We do. I'm serious when I tell you that. 303-713-8255. George, auto registration, near and dear to my heart. Go ahead.
Yeah, apparently for everybody.
Yes.
So here we are, 2017. We got technology all around us, and the state can't find its way to figure out a simple mechanism so that you and I, who live in one county and might work and travel in another county, can't go to a different county to re-register our cars to get our stickers. We have to go to a registration office in our county.
Well, it sucks.
And when I talk to them, they say, well, we're working on it. It might be a few years. Are you kidding? Can you imagine running a business like that? It is simply a matter of differentiating the cost of registration because each county that you register in has a different...
You're speaking to the choir. You're singing to the choir. Preaching to the choir, whatever the hell it is.
It's absolutely crazy.
I mean,
and why does it take... They recognize the problem, so why does it take years? What, we don't pay them enough?
It just frustrates me. It's the most terrible system we have, and it is.
No one likes going.
When you come to the government, I mean, we really don't have a lot of big not even taxes are this bad because you don't have to expend that time and that terrible energy just sitting there. 303-713-8255. Frank Duran is a guy that, if you don't know by now, you'll know if you're ever going to buy or sell real estate, because if you don't use him, you would be crazy. Whether you're buying or selling and you're thinking of a brokerage, he will take care of it. His team specialize in buying or selling. They have one team for each, and they also have marketing and staging and negotiating phases. They just are all around the best experience you'll ever have in a very frustrating kind of category of business. People are very sensitized. 303-920-1622. He'll take the stress out of it. 920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
Look how bad. Remember Mike from dinner?
Oh, that Mike from dinner.
Look how bad it's found.
When you asked,
they're already over 50 grand.
Oh, they really? What happened to Mike? Did he win though?
No, this is a different thing. He won, but this is a different.
He's suing the guy that sold him the house now.
And this was all because referral.
Isn't that fucking wild?
What? On the Boulder Turn
Wait,
no,
in a good way.
He caught it, or not caught it. He did the.
So the person that came, the person we sent out to look at his deck,
tomorrow with the high of 68.
the one that we sent up to look at his Cordova, Godiva chocolate. What did I say instead of loofah?
Come on, Jeff, you lead the way.
What the hell was it? It was food. It was a damn. It was some kind of food. Falafel. A falafel. I was convinced Bill O'Reilly asked this woman up to his because he wanted to rub her down with a falafel.
That was George Costanza that did that.
But it wasn't a
falafel. Depot. What he is he's a down-to-earth granite fabricator.
What do you think, Greg?
He meets you in your
pretty good day.
in the warehouse. He designs your countertop.
You
buy only
the diesel.
to get it
I don't think
you
I
don't
do.
have to buy the slab
Diesel?
I
got one. I saw
do you have a truck or?
with artistic
edges. Those runaway things that he's
and
playing
they
over
also
here.
do, of course, other stones.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like it happens all that much.
You got a brand new one, right?
No, it's used, but
they get a lot more miles.
Yeah, and it's got a brand new motor in it.
Oh, really? What happened?
You pay wholesale for that, and he only charges.
I don't really know,
for
to be honest, but they rebuilt it at 200,000 miles.
You get a kitchen right now, he's going to throw
So it's got 220,000 miles.
Call today.
No, diesels can go and go, but boy, oh boy, that's, I guess the maintenance is what you just want to keep up on.
Yeah, I want to talk to Mark about a good tech too. Just
have you decided it's time
I don't know enough about him to work on this.
Well, we got the ones down in Colorado Springs. I don't know who they got up here.
It's like Colorado Springs Dodge or something.
Yeah, the Dodge, and then also
Precision
Auto. The Precision Auto down there.
I've heard of the Colorado Springs Dodge.
Measures and designs and implants specific to your body. Decreases downtime.
Rolly, you guys work on
We don't do the time. It's very specialized. The problem with it is the tool equipping, and the guys that do it, if you outfit yourself to do them, you rock. It's like, you gotta reach a point where you go, I'll do all of this and succeed, or I do this. And we do so many cars and light duty trucks. You can do them quick, you can make the money you need to make, and you do a lot of these deals. What happens in a lot of them is the expense is so high. You're dealing with a customer who's never happy with you. I'm sorry, I know you came in and spent $2,000 last time. It's 28 now. And it's like, honestly, they're awesome.
So they're that much more expensive to work?
Yes, absolutely. And some of the models need so much more work. And look, they're great, but the biggest problem is we've made them, like a lot of the trucks, like, yeah, it's our daily drive. They're not meant for that. They're meant with a fifth-wheel trailer. It'll love being on the open highway. That's what they were built for. They're built to open up the legs and just go. And everybody's putting around town. That's why, like, everybody's having a problem with the urethra, which is like the blue death. If you don't do the regen, you're plugging the filters. Well, everybody's grocery getting, driving the kids. And if you don't go on the highway, it'll all of a sudden go to a safety mode. You're like, I got no power, I can't drive. Check in, your lights are off. It's all, to me, Scott, I love them. I think diesels are phenomenal. I have no use for them.
For, like you say, hauling, the long haul.
To go take my dirt bikes up the mountain, my gas does it all day long, you know. It's less maintenance, less stuff. I got horses, I got construction trailers, all day long.
That's why I bought mine. I got a boat and that.
Yeah, boat. Exactly. And you go to Lake House. There's nothing better on the road than a diesel pulling that boat.
Check your Tahoe and take one
Listen to win $1,000.
But it fills you. The maintenance, all changes.
But I did the oil change on that myself. It was $130.
Yep. So, is that because the filter, or
it takes 12 quarts? I use synthetic. And the filter itself was like 25.
630 KHOW. Radio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Hey, is Blowin' still flying around?
No. The family does.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome. Okay, now I'm so sorry, Henriette. I hung up on you by mistake.
What did you want to do?
That's okay. You can hang up on me. I won't give up.
Henriette, you wanted to talk about A1 concrete leveling?
I wanted to talk absolutely.
What did they do for you?
We needed under our patio. It was some washout, with the dirt settling. So Eric came out. He gave us an estimate. They came out. They did a fantastic job. I want you to know, Tom, you are my to-go guy.
Oh, good.
And you're the only show that I listen to and I go to. I tried your insurance guy, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
And he saved me over $6,000.
Oh,
not only that.
Good, Matt, yeah.
Not only that,
Insurance
I
Group.
also got $3 million umbrella policy, and it was a better policy than I had with USAA. So I want you to know that.
Henriette, thank you.
I thank you for doing what you're doing. And you know what? All those folks who are listening out there, if you guys are not listening to what Tom says and go to his people, you are a fool like I was.
Hey, Henriette, how long have you been in Colorado? How long have you been in Colorado?
I have been in Colorado since 1991.
Oh, okay. And how did you discover the show?
Well, by just turning the radio on. Before I was just too busy. I didn't do that. So these days I have that COPD, and so I just, and there were times I was frustrated because I needed a good service and I wasn't getting it, and anyways.
Good.
So,
well, listen, if you ever need our help, you call us, Henriette. I'll remember you for sure.
I have been, and you guys have been.
Thank you.
And I'm telling everybody out there, and no, Tom is not sending me a check in the mail. And no, he did not hire me. And yes, I'm a real person.
Thank you very much, Henriette. Appreciate that. 303-713-TALK. Kathy, what happened with your garage door?
This is Kathy Bradish.
Yeah, what happened?
We had a spring
a small spring break in the single garage door.
Yes.
And they came out and started working and then said what the price was going to be. And they charged us $299 for the spring. And then there was end bearing plates. A pair of them were $286.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. Was that so? What did the total turn out to be?
$947.
$947. Wait a minute. Is this the quote they gave you up front or not? Or did they not give you one?
No, they didn't give you a quote.
Did you ask?
Working and then.
Did you ask for a price?
We asked for a price, and my husband said the guy said that we can't give you a price until we get it all done.
What? Come on.
Yeah.
Wait. Until they get it all done?
Yeah.
What company? What company are we talking about?
This is the Denver's Choice Garage Doors.
Do you notice they use that word choice, those little creeps? Because One Clear Choice Garage Doors is on my referral list, the best company around. I just can't believe this. One Clear Choice Garage Doors, and they call themselves Denver what?
Denver's Choice Garage
man.
Doors.
You know what? This is terrible. Did you complain? What did you do?
Well, we gave him a check, and then later on that night, he goes, "We can't. This is awful. There's no way." So we canceled the check, and
Now, one thing I want to tell you, I am not saying, because I don't know this company from anywhere, I am not saying they ripped you off. I'm not saying it was overcharged. What I'm saying is, how do they do work like this where they say, I can't tell you what it's going to cost until it's over? Well, didn't that throw up a red flag with you?
Well, my husband was talking to him, so it's like, he's usually pretty upbeat with people and stuff, so.
So they change a spring and 2 brackets, basically.
Yeah, for $947.
Do you have a copy of the invoice?
Yes, I do.
Can you get it to us? I'd like to have it checked.
Okay.
How is the garage door running?
Well, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did you get these guys' the name of these people?
You know those flyers that come out in the packages with a bunch of things in it?
Yeah.
In the mail?
Mm-hmm.
I picked out one of those.
Okay. Hold on. Suzanne, tell her how to email that to us. Now, can't promise we can do anything. You already stopped payment, so the ball's in your court right now, but you're going to need some ammunition when it comes to fighting them. I mean, they're going to deserve something. And again, I don't get involved in pricing, but that seems weird. That's why I want to look at the invoice. Bob wants to talk about a Chevy Tahoe. I love Tahoes. What's going on, Bob?
Hey, I live in Evergreen, 7,100 feet, and lately I've been making some runs down to Denver, and truck runs fine, it runs fine up here, but after I get coming back up I-70, doing 65, 70 miles an hour, I'll get back into Evergreen where these traffic lights are, and when I go to take off, I have absolutely no gas.
Okay, hold on a second. We'll analyze this, Bob. We'll also get someone from a Chevy dealership, Purefoy Chevrolet. Stick around.
Am I the only one that picked up on that old broad had a $3 million umbrella?
No, I heard it.
Holy shit. And she loves me. I told Suzanne to give me her number.
Did it fall down on her porch?
Well, did you see they said Compass saved her $6,000? How much insurance are you spending if they say
they're saving you $6,000?
I actually need to call them.
I know. I'll tell you exactly where you got to call them. Do you know what I'm going to say? Same with you. Let him shop that Garage Keepers, man.
They do that?
Oh, fuck yeah. It'll blow you away because he's got about 10 different companies. Who's yours right now for garage?
Auto owners.
Auto owners. I think I had them at one point.
We're also auto owners, and I go through Mile High. And it gets shopped every 2 years.
Yep. That's the important part, as long as they're looking every 2 years, man.
Tell you what.
Who's your workman's comp? You both have Pinnacle, right?
Yeah.
I actually had State Farm at one time.
CNA.
I got so goddamn pissed when I noticed how much cheaper Pinnacle was. I dropped my Garage Keepers with Farmers because they had me on that stupid. It was almost double. Wow, for workman's comp.
I'm Lisa Carter.
I don't need to get my vehicles. Get a quote on that in my house. They're using that.
Oh, they'll kill you on that. They'll kill on that stuff. But if you haven't shopped Garage Keepers, man, shit, you have no idea how much you can save.
One of the things is that I have loaner cars, so that's the only thing. Not every company covers it.
Yep, you just tell them that. That's kind of odd. I would figure they would, but I guess you're right.
Travelers won't. That's a big auto shop.
Yeah, we get a policy of all company-owned vehicles.
And you can't make it under the customers because in Colorado the owner's got to insure the vehicle. Yeah, that's a tricky one. Is it almost like something a rental car company would have?
They have a whole nother deal, and many of them self-insure. But
oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
most of them would be self.
But there are some stuff. What they have is that you have to have that coverage, and then you have an agreement. This is what they always ask you to do. That has the customer's responsibility, but at the end, it's your responsibility.
Ultimately, if the customer lied to you or something happened, it's
and we've had customers total our cars.
Who ended up paying?
Yeah, and they said, we'll call my agent, tell them I'm responsible. I've had only one person that took a car home, and she hit the garage. Because it was stuck, she thought it was going to hail, and she hit the garage. And she said, well, I don't think I should be, I was trying to save your car.
Oh, because she was moving it in.
Yeah.
So she should, because she was trying to help you, that it was your fault.
Took out the bumper and the
That is the best logic I've ever fucking heard.
I love people.
It sounds like a kid. Hey, I
That is
tried.
the best
You can't
logic.
file that
under hail damage claim? Did you say she thought it was going to hail?
Yeah, because I thought it was going to hail.
That's a hail damage claim. It's your fault.
People ask for the most craziest things. I honestly had a car in this recently, a lady that was coming to us for quite a while. We looked at the car. She had major leak issues with the Subaru. Okay, we told her, go to the dealer. Okay, they are covering some of these motors. Gave her advice. She went to the dealer. They put a new motor in the car.
Wow.
She hadn't. Yeah, they put a motor in the car. She comes back, has an oil change done by us. My guy goes through and writes up. She's got oil leaks, got all kinds of stuff. Wrote it all up. She turned around to Subarus. They verified everything we told her.
What's that?
But then they said, people about you, well, your car
about what?
is low on value. And whoever did your oil change should have told you that. Well, we told you need all the fluids. And so she basically come back. So they
that Bill O'Reilly what?
It was a gallon and a half.
Did nothing wrong.
Low.
I didn't know there was a new one. I had no idea. I thought all this stuff was from 15 years ago.
Here's the way I look at it.
And he paid it out.
Here's the way I look at it. I don't know. You don't know. We don't know.
No, I really thought it was the shit from 15 years ago.
If truly, there are 5 unrelated women, right? Yeah, but the 5 unrelated women claim you did something. Wouldn't that be weird? Don't you think there's got to be?
So wait, if you're not married and you ask a woman in a bar up to your hotel room, I still not understand.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. The longest running radio show with the same host. And we have a track record that we love to talk about, not because of me, not because of any one person, but because of you. We are able to get cash and merchandise and exchanges and refunds and services for people. That's what we do. That's what we do. Today's car day, but you can call about anything. We have an emphasis on cars. And we're going to ask Jerry to listen to this one. He's not in studio, but we have Al Aramis from Pro Auto Care. We have Jeff Vick from Kimmer Transmission. We have Deputy Greg taking notes. We have Deputy Dan on the camera. We have Major Mark Major, all about town, and Brutus at the controls. Suzanne on the phones. What the heck? Is that a team or what? Jerry with Purify. Hi, Jerry. Thank you for being here. I want you to listen to this. This Tahoe. Sounds like fuel problems. What I don't understand, how long have you been making this run in the Tahoe up and down the mountain, Bob?
No, not very much. Just, I mean, I work in Evergreen and I live up there. So.
I mean, how many times? I mean, when did this all of a sudden start happening, or from the time you got it?
No, pretty much it just started happening.
How many miles on it? How many miles on it?
140.
140,000, and you were running, and here's what's weird, Bob. It happens not when you come down the mountain, but when you're on your way back up, right?
It's after I get up to 7,000 feet, have to go through all the traffic lights. It'll run fine going up I-70, but as soon as I hit those lights going into Evergreen, if I hit a red light, RPM will be sitting there at 500, and then when I go to take off from the red light, there's basically nothing there until if I can get it up to 1,500, then it'll go. And I have no problems running around Evergreen at all.
Okay, so what would cause that?
All
of a sudden.
What is that, Tom? What year of vehicle?
01 Chevy Tahoe.
01 Tahoe. Okay. Has it ever had a fuel pump put in it, or a fuel filter? Is the fuel filter fresh?
I replaced the fuel filter, and when I did, there was nothing in it. It was clean.
But that does sound like it could be a fuel pump. If you're having problems with the fuel pump and it's not failing completely, it would show up at higher altitudes.
Exactly, and heat. Of course, the longer he drives it, the heat's going to affect that.
So that would explain it. It's when he gets up higher after he's been driving a while. Well, listen, it's certainly worth checking. Did you check fuel pressure, Bob?
No, I haven't had a chance yet.
Yep, that's what we have to do.
Yeah, even if you fill the gauge you put on it and then drive it while it's doing it and look at your fuel pressure.
What were you going to say, Bob?
It sounds like a pump.
I can run around Evergreen all day long, and I don't have a problem with it. It's only when I come down to it
and then go back
up.
Okay, now that's weird. So while you're there, you're fine, but when you go down and come back up, Jerry, what does that say? Anything?
Well, he wouldn't be as demanding as much fuel just driving around town as he would going up the hill. Right. So I would get a gauge on it so you can drive it and duplicate the problem and look at your fuel pressure.
Now, Bob,
fuel pressure's doing, but it sounds like a pump.
After you go down the mountain and you drive back up and hit 7,000 feet, it starts hiccuping. When does it calm down?
It takes probably about I don't go that far, but I would say half an hour. That's hard to say because I'm not driving very far once I get up there.
Okay. I think Jerry nailed it. Guys, what do you think? You think so?
I agree. I think absolutely that it's
the fuel issues. Yeah, it sounds like it.
All right. Thank you very much, Jerry at Purefoy Chevrolet. By the way, Purefoy is in Fort Lupton, a short 20-minute drive, and in good traffic, but it's worth the drive. And I'm telling you, you'll never find a dealership like that. Family owned and operated for 50 years, is it? 303-659-8311. Let's go back to our phones. Rosemary is trying to sell a brand new vehicle. Now, why a brand new vehicle are you trying to sell?
Well, we bought it from my father. Thank you very much, by the way.
Yes, Rosemary, no problem.
We bought it from my father about 6 months ago from a local Denver dealership. He's 78. He's starting to have, some eye vision problems, and about 2 months into it, bought a brand new car, took it home. It's perfect.
I love the toy RAV4.
It's a great vehicle. We thought we'd buy him, kind of his last car, forever kind of car, and he wasn't driving it, and he just finally, about 3 months into it, said, I just don't feel comfortable driving. My vision isn't very good. His macular degeneration, sure enough, had gotten worse, and at least he was...
Do me a favor, Rosemary, okay?
What's that?
Do me a favor. Take it off of Craigslist and get it off of eBay. It's ridiculous. You want to sell it? I'm going to tell you what to do. You go out and you download on your phone Blinker.com. Blinker. Go look for the app called Blinker. That's it, Blinker, okay? And then... Then that blinker you bring up in your phone, and it'll give you 2 little guides that you line up with the taillights of that car, and you take a picture of it. I swear to you, that's all you have to do. It will automatically list this car for sale with Blinker. They will arrange financing for anyone who wants to buy it if they need it. They will process all of the paperwork and title work for free, and you have to do nothing. And we personally know the people who developed it.
You know what? Let's track this one and see how long it takes to sell. I would
Rosemary,
love to know that.
You know nothing about selling a car. You would be perfect for this. Now, is there any loan on the car?
No, it's a clear title.
Even
and
if there was a
we're trying
loan.
not to lose, our, bottom too bad,
Listen,
because
even
obviously it
if,
hasn't even been driven.
Listen, even if there's a loan on it, they'd be able to process that for those listening. Rosemary, please try it. You have nothing to lose. When you do it, you're going to be shocked. And the cars there tend to sell for more because the people can get financing right through the app. I'm telling you, you got to try it.
Okay, well, I was hoping that maybe one of your listeners or someone.
Oh, no, we'll do that too. We'll do that too. Okay, so hold on. But please just try this because I think you're going to be shocked. And we'd like to really put it to the test. We've already had a few people, and they were elated with it. So let's talk about this. You have a 2016 RAV4 XLE Sport with 3,500 miles, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Clear title.
Well, okay, fine. And what color?
It's red with a black interior.
That's perfect. Is it loaded?
It is. We also have put a clear bra, the best clear bra you can get with the the mirrors and everything done to it, just to be sure they didn't get any pits.
But it's a 16 and not a 17.
16, correct? Yeah, we bought it in October of last year.
Okay. Now I'm going to tell you what
6 months old.
I'm going to tell you what comparable vehicles are going for. Okay. I'm going to go for the low miles, and I'm going to tell you what they're going for. I think you could go as high as 30-something.
Okay.
Did you overpay for it? What did you pay for it?
We paid about $27.
You are doing well,
plus
baby.
tax,
Hold
obviously.
on. You bought that right, sister.
Yeah, we bought it pretty well, but I'm
No,
trying
you
not
did.
to, lose.
You're not
a
gonna
lot
lose
on it either.
You're not going to lose. You might get 27 for that dang thing. I'm telling you. No,
Okay.
seriously. I'm telling you that. Okay, here's one. Here's one. Oh, that's just the LE. See, the XLE loaded, low miles, 2016. I'm telling you right now, we could probably sell it right on the air, because if you're willing to really be crazy about this, if you said, for example, no negotiation, I don't even want to hear from you. If you pay this price, come and get it. I'll bet you we have someone today, because I'm telling you that car is every penny worth 30 grand. So
Yeah,
what
we sure would love to.
You're not going to get 30.
It's just sitting in his garage.
No. If you bought it for 27, I'm telling you, what do you want to sell it for?
Well, I'm trying to get 24.5.
Oh my God! What are you kidding me? 24? You shouldn't have said that out loud, because you would have gotten more. Yeah, she should have told me. She's whispered or something. No, seriously, Rosemary, I am not kidding you. If there's somebody listening right now that what are you kidding? A Toyota RAV4 XLE with only 3,500 miles for 24.5, Rosemary. If we don't get a buyer within a few minutes, I would be shocked. And I'm serious, because that is a great deal. I wish that I needed a car for my kid or something. Now, here's what I want to know. Do you want to be crazy enough to put your number out? Because if you do, I'm going to do it, but you'd be crazy. I'm just saying, I want to warn you, I can't control who's going to call you.
I don't mind.
Okay, now listen, be ready. This is a 2000 mark. She bought it for 27 on the internet all day long. They're selling for 30 and more.
What is it?
No, listen, a RAV4, but it's the XLE, only 3,500 miles, a 2016. And here's the best part: it's only 3,500 miles. Red, which is one of the more desirable colors. It's that Toyota red, right? You're sure it's red, not maroon?
Yes, it's actually called Barcelona red.
That's the one.
Metallic.
With black. Is it leather interior?
No, the XLEs do not have leather.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this. Now, the XLE is above the LE, right?
Correct.
Yeah, then I'm looking at the right ones. Okay. If somebody should pay you $24.5 without even thinking about it right now.
Better have cash when they show up.
Well, yeah, you be careful on all that. But but you put it on Blinker, you'll sell it. But let's just, for the heck of it, put out your phone number and get ready.
Even if they bring you a check or a cashier's check, you go to the bank and get the cash.
Yeah, you go
or
with them.
convert it to a real check.
You meet them at their bank and get a cashier's check from their bank.
Of course.
Okay, what is your phone number?
Okay, my phone number is area code 303.
Man, I really hope someone's that wants a Toyota, because they're not going to find a Toyota with 3,500 miles on it for this price.
Was she the first owner?
Yeah. 303
828
828
7876.
I thought you were going to be greedy. I'm serious. I thought you were trying to pump us for more money. 303 828 7876. The phone should start ringing any minute. I want you to call me back when you sell it, because you will. For $24,500, I can't even imagine someone. That's if they're in, folks, if you're in the market for a car, anyway, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, what are you kidding me? I don't see how you can't lose on this one. Mark, listen, you can look it up too, Mark. A 2016 RAV4 XLE 3,500 miles. Now, I want to make sure what it has on it. Hold on. You have power windows, of course, power brakes, power steering, all that, right?
Yes.
And it's an automatic with overdrive, right?
Yes.
4x4, right?
Correct.
Okay. So what other options?
Okay. Okay, so it has the fog lights. I'm kind of looking at the...
Does it have that braking stuff where it'll brake itself?
No, it does not. It has, it doesn't have that. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm looking at all the 5-star rating, stability control, traction control, anti-lock brakes, force distribution. It's got the automatic, the automatic lift gate.
Oh, cool, yeah.
And it also has, which is really nice, and it has that same thing on the,
Listen,
the keys.
those cars are pretty well equipped, the XLEs.
Navigation?
Yeah, pretty well equipped, exactly. And then
well,
also,
I don't know. Does it have navigation?
Yeah.
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
that
it's
just
called
sent the price up.
eTune by
Wow.
Toyota.
Wait a minute. It really does have the navigation, the one on screen on the car?
Well, it's called eTune, and it's through Toyota Technologies.
But
yeah.
it's on that display.
Yes, correct.
You can subscribe and get your navigation.
I don't think you even need to subscribe, as
Okay.
far as I know. You know what? He didn't even use it. He's 78.
Does it have a
but it does
cassette
have
player?
it.
No,
I beg your
an
pardon?
8-track tape player.
Does it have a cassette player?
Hey,
Yeah,
listen.
8-track
So
tape player.
it's
does
cloth
have a
interior,
backup
though, right?
camera,
It's backup camera.
Bluetooth.
Good, Bluetooth. Does it have they're cloth seats, though, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Cloth seats.
Cloth seats, correct.
Hey, Tom, we just sent the customers with the two Toyota for leather seats. It's about $1,200 to recover all of them.
Just if they want to. But no, I'm going to tell you, though. Okay, I'm just going to put your number out again. Really, $24,500, Mark, if you're looking for a car for your kid or something. I mean, or for yourself. It's that RAV4. I look at all day long, they're going for $30,000. All day long. Now, you can get them cheaper with miles on them. And then there's 215s even going for more than she wants. 2015s RAV4s.
And you got the full Toyota warranty for what? Another 33,000 miles.
Here it is, 303-828-7876. Make sure you let us know, Adriana, when you sell it, because you will. I mean, Rosemary, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep saying, because Adriana's online too, which we'll get to in a little while here. All right, Ideal Home Loans, if you're looking for a loan, Ideal. Now listen, Ideal Home Loans knows well and good that everyone in the market offers loans. So why would you go to Ideal? First, they're a direct lender, which means they underwrite in-house and approve in-house and can streamline the process for as little as 3 weeks with pre-approval. Also, they do credit optimization in-house, which means even if you're approved, there are different levels of approval. That means they can get you to maybe move a balance here or there on a credit card, which could really affect your credit score, which affects your pricing, the behind-the-scenes pricing, where you pay these points and closing costs, right? You can get a cheaper rate. Also, they have custom term loans. They can make it any length you want in case you don't want to go back to 30 years. They also have a rate guarantee, so if you close today or tomorrow, whatever, you get 2 years from the date of closing. If rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. So, don't forget that pre-approval if you're shopping. 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com.
This report is brought to you by Lifeline.
From,
Just a few noticeable delays here on Mile High.
Listen to this, guys. 9 spots, 9 advertisers. A week ago before that, and a month ago, 34 spots and 35 spots with over 15 minutes.
You know, I will tell you this.
He lost 9 minutes of
Employers will
sponsorship.
put up with almost anything, but not lack of revenue. I'm telling you, even low ratings, they'll put up with you being an asshole. They'll put up with almost anything. But if you don't bring in the cookies,
Well, that's why you've been safe.
Partly cloudy on Sunday with a high of 72.
You bake cookies?
Alder's
good.
I'm just good.
You guys heard that, right? It's not no good, it's good.
It's good.
But his ratings are still good.
Oh, he's killing it. His ratings
So I
are
can't
higher
see
than
the
ever.
basket for him, and I do the no look.
It doesn't matter, you're not going to hit it.
Oh,
You never hit it.
Look, I have an aerodynamic.
You can stand next to it and already a jump shot.
I won't hit Tommy.
Why wouldn't they be advertising stun guns, pepper spray?
Oh! Did you hear the
And rape attorneys.
Nothing but
Give me
bad.
some of that, baby.
From back
Oh,
here.
What's weird is you can make it from way back there, and Tom can't make it from 2 feet away.
I wasn't going to say that.
Dude, that was a 1 in 560 ratio. Don't celebrate so hard.
It was like a roulette wheel.
Hey,
Look at rolling.
I'm
up
challenged.
Double eagle.
Yes, we know. That's why,
I'm challenged with the
that's why you
company
got
I
all the
keep.
special classes when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Did you play basketball as a kid?
Yeah, for the basketball.
For maybe a little bit.
He was that orange brown thing you found on the whole floor.
Oh, I did football until we played all the black schools, and then I realized I didn't have a football career. Honestly, I played defense. I was a tackle in middle school.
Wow.
Paradigm Interiors for your floor coverings, because you'll get the big warehouse feel and pricing, all #1 goods, by the way, no seconds or thirds, and you'll also get the selection second to none. I'm telling you, you will love their selection at Paradigm. Now, that's the big warehouse feel. Here's where it feels like your family. You get a design consultant up front, you get a project manager through your whole project, and then you have owners, Don and Matt, that you can call at any time. Seriously. So you get that mixture. They've also been around 14 years in business on Evans, just west of Santa Fe. All I can say is, if you're doing floor covering, shop around. And I assure you this, when you meet them, you're going to want to do business with them. It's just great. You have the combination of everything you want. Great products, great selection, great prices, good people. Tile, hardwood, laminates, vinyl, and luxury vinyl tile. Even new carpeting that's waterproof from Shaw Industries. They have it all. 303-630-9204. 303-630-9204. And look for Paradigm Interiors on my referral list at referrallist.com.
Making America great again, as it turns out, a little harder.
You all agree again. Why do they call it wallet? Put a wall around it. He is pretty funny. Even though he's a kind of an ass too. So let's make a lunch bet. What do you think Riley's will drop down to? His ratings.
Oh, they will.
Hi, Century RV. As in 100 Century, C-E-N-T-U-R-Y, CenturyRV.com. Our experts in the RV business, go see them. They're at the 119 turnoff and I-25, the road to Longmont, north of Denver. Full service department, also new and used RVs of all kinds, 303-453-1111. All right. Chris has a comment on the fuel issue with the Tahoe. He comes down from Breckenridge, goes back up, and then gets into trouble when he gets to 7,000 feet. They thought maybe a fuel pump. He has to address fuel issues. Go ahead.
Hey, Tom, how are you today?
Good. What's happening, Chris?
Okay, well, I had this same problem a couple of years ago on the same vehicle, and what I ended up finding out is I changed 3 fuel pumps out, and it still kept doing the same thing. What I came to discover is when you pull that pump out, I always called it a filter sock that actually sits down in the tank.
I know what you mean. Right. Exactly. That's a good description of it.
Okay, well, on those vehicles, between that filter sock housing and the fuel pump, there's maybe a 2.5, 3-inch piece of fuel line that's held on usually with either clips or hose clamps.
Yeah.
Well, you can just change the fuel pumps out, and if you don't inspect that, what had happened on mine was there was a small crack in that line.
Huh.
So if you didn't have the fuel tank full and we're going up hills and down hills or in traffic stopping and going and your fuel was sloshing around, it would actually suck air in and mess with the truck like you would not believe. It shut it down depending on what kind of grade you were on.
That's cool. I mean, that's a good area to look at. Thank you. So, that's what I love when our audience calls with these personalized experiences. Thank you. Adriana, are you there?
Yes, I am.
And you wanted to call to give an on-air review of who?
Well, I have 2 things, Tom. I got excited because Rosemary's car, I went and checked it out. It is awesome. It's like show floor.
Wait, so you were gonna buy it?
Yes, but she didn't take my offer. I was so sad, and I'm a single mom with a kid. So then I said, what am I going to do with this other car, 2005? So I went to Budget A1 to see Andy and Scott, and boy, they took good care of me. And they assured me that this car that my daughter inherited from her godmother, it will be okay for a 16-year-old. But I did offer Rosemary money, and she didn't take it.
What
she offered? Awesome
she
car.
offered her 24, right, Adriana?
She said she had it on eBay for $24,900, and I offered her cash $23,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't have taken 9. That thing would. I mean, if you got it for 23, man, would you have gotten a steal?
She could probably on Blinker get 25, 26 because all these people that could finance it could get it.
No, Adriana, thank you for telling us about Budget A1 Transmission Auto Repair. Good people over there. Mark Machowski and the gang. Listen,
what a small world is that this listener.
I know.
That's impossible. Actually,
no, we get that all the time when we have people call in. The other person calls in and says, "I'm the one they're talking about." I mean, we've had that, right?
Well, companies.
Suzanne, but Suzanne, we've had like a guy calling about his neighbor, and somebody says, "I know that guy." Yeah. We've had a pet missing one time, and somebody, the person who found it was listening. It happens. I mean, we have a pretty damn good audience. That helps. Okay, so. Let's talk to Brian about salvage titles, and if you guys have a question, 303-713-TALK, go ahead.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Good. What's happening?
Just before we get connected to all this, we may get disconnected because I'm heading up into Pine, so my cell may not transfer over there.
Yes.
So anyway, recently I had purchased a vehicle through a dealership with a salvage R title. They refer to it as being a rebuild, and they said
that's what they are.
Yeah, and I guess, what do you know about them? Are they solid? Do you get a brand new vehicle? This vehicle is a 2016 Subaru Crosstrek, and it's only had 2,065 miles on it.
Listen, it's like anything, Brian. A salvage car simply means the insurance company decided not to rebuild it. It doesn't mean it's a bad deal. And if it's rebuilt the right way, it is an excellent vehicle, or it can be the worst nightmare. It depends on how. I'm just putting you on hold for a sec because that noise. It depends on how it's rebuilt. Cars can be rebuilt and be just as good as new. You will always, however, have the perception problem when you go to sell it. You will always have less value, always. Just bank on that. And sometimes banks don't, speaking of banks, don't like to lend on them. It depends on who it is. But remember, it's always going to be less than market value because you have to you have to disclose salvage. That's one of the few things you have to disclose. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, they do have to disclose, and depending on what was actually rebuilt or replaced on it,
like hail
it
damage.
may not even been a big deal. Yeah, it could have been hail damage.
Right.
Some of these vehicles have such expensive airbags that insurance companies will total them out just for that.
Yeah, Brian, do you know what the damage was?
It was in a front-end collision, but...
That's the worst kind, yeah.
Although we got it for $21,300, I think. And it is the limited with the leather seats.
Now hold on.
orange
What would that
stitching.
have cost? Wait a minute. You got it for 21.3. How many miles on it? Did you say?
2,065.
What would a comparable vehicle cost? Seriously, now, no exaggeration.
No exaggeration. I looked on it, about 27.6.
Yeah, you didn't save that much. You didn't save that much. Now, if that's big to you, that's good. But I would have thought I'd want more of a savings for a salvage. How about you, Mark? He could have bought one for 27.6. It's 21 some or 23. Did he pay? Did he say?
He said 21. Yeah.
Or 21. Or I want to make sure I get the savings. How much, Brian, total did you save? How much did you save total?
It was a little over 6.
Okay. Well, what do you think? 6,000? I think when you get within spitting distance, although 6,000 is a lot of money. I mean, he saved $6,000 by going with a rebuilt salvage.
I wouldn't have done it.
No, because I think that
they're just too hard to sell.
I would say you lose about what percentage do we see? About 20% with salvage. I think 20 to 25.
Not just that. If you try, we should ask Blinker about this, but I wonder if they sell salvage stuff because a lot of people won't loan on.
Although
a salvage
25% on that, he's right in the ballpark.
Well,
Guys,
having come from the dealer, what kind of warranty is he getting? I mean, I'm assuming that nothing from Subaru is going to be covered anymore.
Nothing. No.
So you have an engine or transmission that goes out inside warranty term.
Yeah.
You're on.
And how do insurance companies handle that? Do they care? Do they?
They care. They care when it comes to replacement. They don't care when it comes to insuring for liability and stuff.
Well, that's what I mean. If you totaled it, you're not going to get the full amount, right? Of course not.
Bob has a comment. Go ahead, Bob.
Good morning, Tom. Rule of thumb on the dealer side is 50% for a salvage, but the first thing is he has no warranty. So as the guys were
we talked about that. What do you think retail it affects value when somebody has a car and they decide to keep it and rebuild it? How do you think it? I think the higher end the car, the more it affects resale. Like a Mercedes or a Ferrari, for example, you would forget it. I mean, if you took a salvage Ferrari, you've knocked out 75% value.
I agree.
And on exotic cars, on a Mercedes, wouldn't you say you definitely are half price with retail?
Yeah, that's a pretty good rule of thumb on.
No, I mean even for retail. What do you think for like Chevys, Fords, and those kinds of things on retail? I don't think it's 50%. Do you?
Well, it is at the dealer level because of the exposure the dealer has selling it. Here's the biggest problem, which the caller didn't talk about, is, and I can't remember whoever brought it up there in the studio.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
Right, but it's got to be inspected. There is no standard way of quote fixing it.
I know, of rebuilding.
There's no inspection. The people, somebody selling that will say, well, gee, the State Patrol inspected it. Doesn't happen.
They don't. They just do the VIN verification.
They do a VIN verification. They make sure it has lights, horn, a few other things, and that's it.
Yeah, I agree totally. So you're going to stick with about 50%. You really believe that when it comes to retail?
Well, I'm just saying, if we were taking one.
No, I know that at the dealer level. I'm talking about resale. If a new one is, if a comparable car on the market, Ford or Chevy or one of those midstream cars, if they're selling for Buick or whatever, if they're selling for retail 28, what are you thinking on the salvage market? They're going to be 15?
15 to 20. Just again, it depends on what was fixed and what wasn't, how bad the damage was. And the other thing I wanted to clarify, we've talked about this before.
I understand.
In Colorado, you cannot salvage a car for hail. That was a law change.
But you can total it. They just don't mark it salvaged.
No, you call it total loss.
Yes, that's what I mean.
It's not a salvage; it's a regular title.
No, but it is a total loss, and the insurance company takes it from you, and you can decide to buy it back if you want, but it doesn't carry that salvage title. 303-713-TALK. Joseph A. Lazara is an attorney at law, criminal defense attorney. I always say this, always. I hope you don't need him, obviously. No one wants to go through this crap, but if ever you have a son or daughter who gets in trouble, you have a friend, a neighbor, if you get in trouble, usually it's DUI. That's what he does most of, let's face it. You got to know something. Whether you're guilty or innocent doesn't play into this at all. Okay, first of all, you should prevent any kind of a DUI. It's so easy to prevent. Don't drink or don't smoke marijuana or don't take edibles if you're driving. It's that easy. Use a designated driver or public transportation or Uber or Lyft. Here's the deal, though. Let's get back to it doesn't matter if you're guilty or innocent. You still need an attorney. you still need one, no matter who you are, because the system is so complicated, it'll eat you up and spit you out. So what you need to do is have someone guide you through the system. Joseph A. Lazaro will do that. And don't get me wrong, he will also defend you as well. 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200. Look for Joe Lazaro on my referral list at referralist.com.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center. This report is brought to you by Lifewall.
That's pretty cool.
Still seeing the effects of an earlier
Black guy.
25 as you head across Denver this afternoon. Earlier crash.
We have about 4 national correspondents this morning.
We would just say 16.
You know that?
Back to 84. Also,
Gorsuch's what, the second Supreme Court?
Not some correspondents.
No, I know, but I think that Colorado's produced 2 Supreme Court justices.
2? Gorsuch, I thought. Who else?
I'm trying to remember. They were talking about the other day. He's the second one from Colorado.
From Colorado, right?
Who?
Gorsuch is the second one.
Oh, the Supreme Court?
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
I don't know. I think it was
Wow.
caught some part of it the other day, him being the second one.
Kingsbury, the old lady?
Oh, my God. Nothing.
No, she could have came from Boulder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing good comes out of Boulder.
God.
Granola.
The Republican.
Again, nothing good comes out of Boulder.
The People's Socialist Republic of Boulder.
Even Californians go to Boulder and go, man, these fuckers.
Byron White. Byron White.
It is kind of, what is the history of that? How did all these hippies end up there? I don't get it.
That's exactly right. College town.
Yeah, Suzanne just went to
And
Austin.
the mushrooms grew out in the fields.
Yeah, there's those wild mushrooms.
Exactly right. They're all mushroomed by the cowpole.
I tell you.
Don't eat the pink acid.
Woodstock. No, orange, wasn't it?
Brown.
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 Where was Woodstock for you?
Yeah.
Where was that from? Where was Woodstock from you, where you grew up?
About 30 miles.
Yeah, you weren't that far at all from that area.
Hell, he hitchhiked.
No, we drove.
That I watched a movie on it. It looked like the nastiest thing
Yeah,
ever.
rain.
Oh my God,
It was terrible. We felt like crap.
people like in this flick I was watching, there'd be people just squatting down, relieving themselves like
There
every
weren't anything. You couldn't see or hear anything.
Did you have a ticket or did you just do this? Do you crash the gate?
Everyone did. I mean, I don't know.
It's like the first 30 people. I got
I realized we had I think we had 465,000 people.
Really? My goal would have been to get
Something like
$1
that.
from each of them.
Google how many people attended.
We said 500,000 strong in the song.
Yeah, I remember them making an announcement. We're the so biggest city in the state. Or
I went to Cal Jam 2 in California. That was 275,000. The Ontario Speedway, and that was just crazy.
Whoa.
You got a spot.
This Saturday at noon on 1 out of 5 at lifecertain.com to discover the necessary financial planning for
Retirement.
Plumbline Services for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. I want to emphasize something on the drain stuff. Most companies have no drain division. What they do is they might camera your drain, maybe snake it once in a while, but when it comes to repairs, they have a third party. Most everyone in Denver uses the same third party, and then they mark it up. Plumbline is one of the few that has their own backhoes and their own people actually doing drain work. That's why they can offer free second opinions on drain work. They don't have any added cost of subcontractors and other people's equipment. They have it all their own, and they want to keep it working. So they do great deals when it comes to drains. And they also have this 93 or free when it comes to drain cleaning. That means if they can't clear your line on the first visit, there is absolutely no charge. Otherwise, the most you're going to be charged is $93. I love these kinds of things, like their electrical one, find, fix, or free for $149. They're betting they can fix your electrical problem. Not only fix it, but find it for $149. So no matter what's going on electrically, call them, right? And then if it turns out to be major and they can't fix it for that $149, they're going to be honest with you, but then the call's free. So they'll tell you what's wrong, you'll know what's wrong, and it'll be free. So it's like getting a free diagnostic, or it's like getting a complete repair for just $149. You can't go wrong with Plumbline Services, no matter what your plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, or drain issue. 303-586-1086. PlumblineServices.com.
Now back to the stuff everyone's talking about on 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What, Mark?
So I'm dealing with this issue. When you ask for a settlement, this guy not only wants a settlement with this company, but he wants the company to come out and basically still see what they did wrong. But yet he wants a settlement. Do you see anything here? This drives me crazy.
No, hold on.
A settlement is when a company wants to end it, give them money.
Mark, a settlement is whatever the settlement is.
Correct.
So if he wants, as part of the settlement, he wants to show them what's wrong, if that's part of the settlement, well, then that's up to the company if they want to do it. Well, but I think you're asking me, does it sound like a wise settlement? No. I think if the company agrees to do what you want as far as money-wise, what the hell do you care if they come and see it or not?
It's driving me nuts.
If the company said, for example, if you wanted $1,500 back, let's say, and you wanted something returned, and they do it, why do you care if in addition to that they come out to see the job and you show them where they screwed up? That seems like they just want to rub your nose in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why? Usually when you back in my Goodyear days, when I had a settlement for something, if they wanted a refund, I'd say, fine, here's your refund, but that doesn't mean I'm also going to do the work on their car still or fix the car.
No.
It's one or the other. What do you want?
Well, why do they want to show them what's wrong?
To rub their nose in it.
Well, is it part of the settlement? Is that what they're asking for?
Yeah, the settlement was, hey, we'll go ahead, we'll refund you $1,200, but we're done with it.
And did the guy say okay?
No, the guy said, well, I want that, but I also want you to fix this and this. In other words, he wants the work done. He wants to rub the guy's nose in it, that the work wasn't done on time or whatever it was, and he wants the $1,200. I'm like, you can't have everything.
Well, that's part of the negotiation. That's right. So Jeff has a screaming deal. Jeff, by the way, owns City Lock in Boulder. How far down to the metro area do you go, the Denver metro area, Jeff?
Well, it depends how large the job is. It's a very small job. I'll generally refer to somebody who's closer, who's also background checked on our national referral list.
Okay, so basically, though, what are you going to offer now?
Okay, a lot of times I get people, before I even talk about what I'm offering, I get people that come in here that have heard me on your show 5 years ago. Just on one of these short little blasts for an offer.
Yeah.
And they come in and they say, I heard you on Martino. Are you on anymore? And that just makes me wonder why situations like that weird fencing company you had an issue with about 3 weeks ago with someone, that they didn't take that as an opportunity.
Right.
One situation where they screwed up a job and go overboard into a whole damn new fence, do the whole thing over, and get $100,000 worth of advertising.
No, you're right. You're right. We often wonder that, too, why people nitpick. Now, obviously, if a consumer's being totally unreasonable, that's a different story. But every now and then, Jeff, you're right. Just say, okay, you know what? Let's take care of this.
And that guy had a hell of a checkered past, the fence guy he's talking about.
Yeah. So anyway, Jeff, I'm always intrigued with your offers, by the way, because they're pretty cool. They usually have to do with transponder keys and stuff. What do you got this time?
Well, these are things that seem to perk people's interest. And a lot of people don't need a new key or a new remote. What they have is one that the circuit board's fine, but the housing is cracked. And auto parts stores tried selling their little rotating thing with a couple of them on there. It's never quite the right one, though. You have to have a huge range of them. I have about 100 different ones in stock. So what we do is, as long as the circuit board tests well, we put a new battery in it, and I use name brand batteries. I don't even buy cheap ones.
Okay.
Put a new battery in it, test it, make sure it's working, put it into a new shell. If the shell has a blade sticking out of it, we cut the blade by code fresh and make them all good. They save the cost of programming, and they save...
So you're saying a lot of times they're just cracked or old or crappy, and you know, people put tape on them and all that, but what you're saying is you'll take the circuit board, put it in a new case.
Yep.
And how much?
Okay, on the ones that are just a remote, the earlier ones that don't have a key sticking out of them, those would normally... We would do those for $29. We'll do them for $25 if anyone mentions you. And they can hear you on a podcast. They can hear you on a best of day. I don't care when.
What else?
So that's only knocking $4 off, but it's an extra $4 and it's a great deal. The other ones tend to be more expensive. They're generally $100 for the ones with a blade, and those will do for $75.
All right, 25% off. That's good. So if you need a remote, new housing or one with a key, you can save up to 25%. 303-444-4407. 333-444-4407. That's City Lock. Double check that number. I don't know why that doesn't look... It's 303. I said 444-4407. Didn't I say that?
You said 333 the first time.
Oh, I'm sorry, 303-444-4407. Check the 4407. Why doesn't that sound right to me? That is his number. Just get on the phone with him right now. Make sure. I don't know. That is, right? Okay, good. Thank you. 303-444-4407. Hey, Gerald. What's going on, Gerald?
Hey, is this Tom?
Yes, it is.
Hey, is Geraldo on duty this week? Or
Not this week. He's talking about our Facebook post that Mark put up where he was comparing me. I don't think I look anything like him at all.
Oh, man, you're crazy. We had a lot of people. We had a lot of people get it wrong.
When we were way younger, I don't know.
Robert Downey Jr.
I think you do look like him, but that's all right.
Everybody does, except for him.
Not now.
Yes.
Now?
Yes.
Now, come on, man. Okay. Anyway.
Hey, guys, I'm thinking I'm about ready to, as a matter of fact. I'm kind of like beyond thinking.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a Subaru Forester, a 2017.
They're good
And I
cars.
wanna know, is there anything that I should be concerned about? Is there any must-haves?
Well,
Is there any,
17s, by the way, are pretty new. So let's talk about the older ones. And I don't mean even real old. Aren't they good cars, guys?
Very reliable. There were issues with the earlier ones with head gasket issues and oil leaks. The newer style now, past 3 years, they really fixed the product.
I'd get the auto. I'd pay the extra money, man. Get the auto braking and get the lane assistance stuff. It'll cost you a little bit, but it could be worth it, worth it, worth it.
You know, these new safety enhancements on cars are just great. They're
I've got that lane assist and all that crap on my spec sheet, Mark.
It's hard to live without it once you have it.
And I insist on navigation.
Navigation is a nice feature, absolutely. So,
But
Tom,
you
what
can
are
get
you
it
gonna,
on your phone too, though.
So what are you going to say when they offer him the paint protection package?
No.
And what are you going to tell him when they extended glorified warranty for $4,500?
I don't buy any of that extra crap, but and I don't buy the extended warranty. That's me, okay? I don't want to argue with people. I just don't buy it. Never have, never will.
I'll tell you what I'll do, though. I'll help this guy out. Figure out exactly what you want. Email me. Get the best price you can get anywhere, and I'll get you a better price right here in town.
You will.
Is that right?
Just like that, brother.
That's pretty big.
Okay.
Just because you admitted he looks like Geraldo.
Give him the email. Give him the email, and we'll do it. Give him the email. Okay? 303-713-TALK. Brandon, I don't know what you're talking about right now, but we'll get started. What is it?
Hi, hello?
Yes, Brandon. It said something about freedom. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the parks, rights and freedoms, like public parks. I was looking, my kids will hold pickup games for soccer, and they'll get kicked off.
Why?
And I don't know, they just say you're not allowed to do that.
Well, wait a minute. You're not allowed to play soccer?
Well, it's more than just like 2 or 3 people. It's like...
It's like a real... You mean like a real team, right?
No, it's just about like 8 or 10 friends or...
Why can't they... I mean, what reason do they give for not... Why do they say you can't do it?
I'm not sure if they're worried about the grass, or I'm not 100% sure. They don't ask, they just leave.
So they just say you're not allowed to play in the park.
Yeah, but they do say, it's somebody that's kind of like in a park ranger uniform. So, I mean, it sounds legit.
I mean, you could respectfully ask, what are the rules? I mean, what would be wrong with asking that? What are the rules?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, call them and ask them. I mean, we can do it. It's late in the show now, but my impression would be that's what they're made for, to play, right? I mean, I see kids playing all the time in these parks. And if they say you can't play here...
Maybe it is because of the grass, honestly.
Drew says you have to have a permit when you're playing games and coordinating games like that with players, sometimes.
Because they don't want leagues, like, taking it over or something. I don't know. Listen, you know what, Brandon? If it's really important, we can get someone on from Parks and Recreation to talk about it. And I don't even know, are you talking state or city? Are you probably state, right? Brandon?
City, yeah, like Denver and Arvada, we've both been kicked out.
Oh, both. Okay, let's...
Multiple places. So
They
I was curious
want the fee. They want when you play league play, you have to pay the fees for it.
We have to take...
No, they're just pickup games, where they're not...
I understand they're not formal, but they don't want it to turn that way. That's what they're saying. Rocky's Autos, 63rd and Federal, open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. I'm going to tell you something. Right now, they have a whole boatload of new cars. Well, not new, but new to them. You know what I'm saying. A fresh shipment of used cars, let's say, for spring. You have your coupes, your convertibles, Your two-doors, of course, they have sedans, SUVs, vans, anything you want. Pick-me-up trucks. All you have to do is go watch Rockies and see prices straight up. They don't hide them. They're not afraid of them. They want you to shop. So do it, but put Rockies on the list. And remember, they always give great trade-in values because they sell most trades right there. They don't have any pressure because they know, listen, if you're shopping, you'll be back. But here's the deal. If you shop, please compare accurately product by product and also the financing. That's part of it because they offer some of the best financing with 40 lenders to choose from. 303-426-4646, 63rd and Federal. Remember, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. That means tonight they'll be open till 8.
This report is brought to you by LifeBlock.
A few trouble spots on our interstates across Colorado as you head through town this Friday afternoon. Further crash I-25 northbound at 104th is still present on the roadway. That crash does currently have the left lane blocked and slower speeds from it reach back to 88. Also seeing slower speeds near the mousetrap as I-70 westbound is moving below coastal speeds on fire back, and slower speeds
400,000 people at Woodstock, Tom.
on I-270 westbound from
How many?
back
400,000.
Your weather forecast, all sunshine today with a high of 79. Cooler temperatures tomorrow with a high of 68. Partly cloudy and warm on
biggest
Saturday
concert
with a high of 72.
Ever? One of the biggest ones ever was, the biggest one recently is, the country western guy was in New York playing.
Garth Brooks, 750,000.
That was it?
That's a lot of people.
What's EIS Colorado? What is that?
To save 10%.
They're one of our members.
What was that, Jeff?
What is it?
They do roofs, construction, blah, blah, blah.
They do.
Why do we have that? We're having it.
Because they're a new guy. They're not, their main thing, well, hold on, their main thing isn't roofing, it's disaster recovery. You know, they bring out the fans, dry shit out.
The new contemporary
They're pretty good at it,
that
actually.
everyone wants. Hi, this is Courtney Pierce, president of Buy and Build Incorporated. We have
But of
five
course,
the
they're
most
also
popular
general
colors
contractor.
for thousands less than our competitors. From the popular espresso finish to the hottest color going, bright white, which is in stock and now ready for immediate pickup. These cabinets are all wood boxes with hardwood fronts and no particle board, and our prices are the best in the nation. Visit our store at 4800 Washington Street
From
Denver,
who?
or online at buyandbuild.net. You will be thrilled with the
I would do
thousands
it.
you save
She
at
looks like
Buy and
she's
Build.
friendly.
Oh!
That's what my wife would want me to have.
Hey Al, who's this new friend of yours?
If there's a serious problem, one line will present you with honest
She's friendly.
fix it. Unlike the others,
Let me see this new friend.
New friend request.
eliminate the middleman.
You know who that really is. It's really that old guy.
I was going to say, she's got 100 friends. She's probably only been on there for 2 days.
Yeah.
You're going to click on it, and actually your wife probably is going to get a phone call. Or at least it's supposed to hold you up for ransom.
There you go. It could be the new ransomware.
That's funny as hell.
He won't call me back. Can you tell him to call me?
Or she call you anything you want.
I don't want to find out.
Well, she gotta be from Venezuela.
Colombia. We're a Colombian woman.
Hey, I'll take a clip.
Are you in pain? Do you have a sore shoulder, a neck, a hip, knees, elbow? You know what? As you get older,
You have injuries more often, but even young people have injuries, and this is something that has been sweeping not just the country but the world, stem cell therapy. And a lot of you have heard about it, but you don't know exactly what it does. I will tell you this, it heals. Why does it heal? Because it's packed with growth factors that help to grow new tissue in the joint to rebuild. In fact, stem cells rebuild whatever cells they're next to. They're a miracle cell, the basis of life. If you'd like to find out more about it and this amazing way to avoid surgery and reduce pain, go to one of the seminars offered by Stem Cell Institute of America. There's no obligation whatsoever. You know, they do treatment, but they know you have questions first. So why obligate yourself to a doctor's appointment if all you want right now is a bunch of information, and you can get it too. You can get it at the next seminar. They have them every few weeks. They have, by the way, they have them at noon and 5:30, so it's convenient, and they even offer you a meal. So call for the next one, 720-580-CELL. That's C-E-L-L, 720-580-CELL.
Making America great again? As it turns out, a little harder than I thought.
Failure of Trump care.
Making your wallet great again? Not so difficult.
Listen to win $1,000.
They got a ton of people in that army.
I also recommend doing a nice
They probably all learned that ball. Sorry,
I just have a friend that just found the doing experimental stem cell MS.
Oh, just North Korea. I didn't know they had that many people in their army.
Who?
North Korea.
They've actually got almost 1.2
What movie was that?
Didn't China have like a
leadership?
Oh, we got 6 billion people in our army.
Well, it's easy to do when it's
Don't you mess with us.
Yeah, and there's no verification of it.
We never actually kicked them all out. So we got 90-year-old members.
Mark, they're all cutouts.
Like in the grocery store. Hi, Tom Martino here. Hey, Ron, talk to me about your fuel issue. Sir, what's going on?
Okay. I have a 2003 Toyota Tundra, 8-cylinder, and for the past year and a half or so, whenever I go to put gas in it, I can only pump it really slowly because I can't pump it faster. It shuts the pump off, of course.
Your vent is clogged, sir. Your vent on the fuel neck.
Okay, now I had talked to a Toyota dealership in Fort Collins, and they told me that I probably need a new gas tank.
They're full of crap. I mean, it could be, but most... Oh, come on. Why would you need a new tank?
I know.
Is it leaking?
No.
It wore out.
There's a flap. There's a flap that's inside the tank.
Yes.
That flap apparently is wearing out.
So if it wears out, it won't keep fuel from going in.
Well, that's what I thought too.
The flap is just for back venting. That's all that flap is for, is when you pull the thing back out.
Okay.
I mean, really, is there a flap down deeper? What is it for?
So sloshing, so it doesn't come back up the neck.
Yeah, that's right. But if you're talking about the anti-sloshing,
and the slosh.
You know, it's no, seriously. I know what he means. The baffling. It's a baffle, and those baffles would not cause it to fill slowly unless something got wrapped around it or something.
So they're talking about tanks because maybe it would collapse if by chance you go off-road?
It could be.
Do you do any off-roading?
No.
Okay.
No,
they can do. You know, there are cameras that can go down and do a visual inspection of that.
Yeah.
I'm baffled.
But no, he's not baffled. But here's the other deal, Tom.
Don't you think it's the vent?
Remember, but listen, the vapors in that tank have to be reclaimed. That's why when you click the cap, that seals it so that it can take those vapors out.
That's right.
It's got a canister that collects that stuff. They get plugged up too.
Listen, I would.
Somebody told me. Somebody had told me to that it might also be the solenoid in the evap system. So
that's what runs that ventilation. It takes those vapors, runs it back into the car and burn it.
Start with the simplest things first, and that's fuel venting first. Yeah. Then go to the other stuff. It could be that just that solenoid is out. I'm Tom Martino. We have to say bye. Don't forget referralist.com and save all your problems for me.
Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family.
All right, kids, boss will be here in 10. Grab some breakfast.
Good morning, Williams family.
Mommy, who is that?
I'm the guy who's going to take this box